exclusive.
The Empire.
It ain't all about the ice, all the nice niggas sacrifice. Yeah, it ain't all about these hoes, I know how I feel to go broke. Yeah, it ain't all about the car, I grind and I grind hard. Yeah, it ain't all about these clothes, my nigga dead, God bless his soul. Ever since my granddad died, I ain't been the same nigga. In sickle cell, all inside my little sister. I'm fucked up inside, put more lean inside my system. Every day I tell God I wish Snoop was still living. I ain't forgot about you nigga, free band gang winning. I do this shit for Lonzo, a junkie stab my nigga. That could've been me serving, you don't know the half my nigga. The weight I'm dealing with, I might just start killing shit. I hit the studio vibing, spin the realest shit. I should've seen a psychiatrist, I was built for this. On the road to riches, ain't about a bitch. On BBS, it's gon' wink and kiss. Pay dues, on overdue. This shit ain't about my neck and wrist. Real
Empire
shit.
Mixtapes.
It ain't all about the ice, all the nice niggas sacrifice. Yeah, it ain't all about these hoes, I know how I feel to go broke. Yeah, it ain't all about the car, I grind and I grind hard. Yeah, it ain't all about these clothes, my nigga dead, God bless his soul. Yeah,
it ain't all about the glitter and the gleam, it ain't what it seems.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm grinding like a blender, I'ma whip it till I get the cream. Yeah, I keep it G, who keep it G with me? I fuck with who gon' fuck with me. Yeah, it ain't all about these bitches. Tell to you snitches, I die by these riches.
The Empire.
I'm on the counter, shoot CeeLo. Rest in peace to Pride and free my nigga Otto. Yeah, you niggas wanna be low, but you could never be low, cause you could never see low.
Empire Mixtapes.
Yeah,
it ain't all about the ice, all the nice niggas sacrifice. Yeah, it ain't all about these hoes, I know how I feel to go broke. Yeah, it ain't all about the car, I grind and I grind hard. Yeah, it ain't all about these clothes, my nigga dead, God bless his soul. Yeah, $1,000 shots on my face, I'm coolin' it. I rock the gold, keeping it basic, it ain't about the glitz. I want the type of chick, I can make my niggas rich. A lot of people talk that loyalty, don't know what it is. Have you ever been so broke you don't even wanna live? So fucked up to the point that funerals can shed a tear. Gotta grind so fucking hard, that shit bring you to tears. Forgot to call my mom on birthday, God bless the kid. Phone belly ringing, ass ringing till it dead. I'm about to run them M's up, motherfuck the feds. Got my money in the wall, ain't fucking up my bread. I had a talk with the Most High, and this is what he said.
The Empire.
It ain't all about the ice, all the nice niggas sacrifice. Yeah, it ain't all about these hoes, I know how I feel to go broke. Yeah, it ain't all about the car, I grind and I grind hard. Yeah, it ain't all about these clothes, my nigga dead, God bless his soul. Yeah.
The people at Truck Stop done teamed up with the boy Mark the Mentor. Are you ready to take your trucking business to the next level? With Truck Stop Pro, you get access to the best load board in the game, giving you the tools to find higher paying loads and streamline your operation. And right now, you can try the Pro plan free for 30 days, a $159 value. Click the link in the description to claim your free Pro plan and start making smarter moves for your trucking business today.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everybody's feeling good. Today, come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Today we're gonna continue our talking about the money. I love talking about the money, man. Because that's what matters when you run a business, right? Because if you ain't making no money, if you ain't making no money, then shit, it's just, what's the sense, right? And then two, if you don't know how to keep the money and appropriate the money correctly, not misallocate the money, not misappropriate the money, not commingle the funds, and do all the things that's not in your best interest to be able to sustain the business, then what's the sense, right? All right. So come on in. Let's get started. We're not gonna be here much longer today. Well, that long today. Shout out to Great Polo. What's going on? SD Walt, what's up? What up? William Sweet, Ty Trillis, what up? Happy to deliver. What's going on? Transportation Boys, what is up? Who else we got? Dave, what's up? Happy to deliver. UK Hemi, what's up? Kirk Morris, how you doing? All right, come on in. All right, few things. Sorry, I'm not even late. Actually, I'm on time. Sorry you guys didn't get the notification. A lot of people probably didn't get the 30-minute notification because I set it to private by mistake instead of public, so it didn't send out that 30-minute notification. Didn't stream yesterday, planned on streaming. Stream was set up, but I was in a heated debate in the Discord. So it was a Jordan versus LeBron debate. So yes, I stood up my live stream yesterday because I was in heated battle in the Jordan versus LeBron debate. So I didn't stream because I couldn't lead the debate. I had to win that debate. Damn, this shit sound crazy, man. It was more important at the time. All right. We came out victorious. All right. We came out victorious, right? In that Jordan versus LeBron debate. So that live stream that I had prepared yesterday, we're probably going to do that tomorrow, or we'll probably do that Monday. So once again, I want to apologize, for yesterday. If you were looking for a stream yesterday, I was in a debate. I was in another debate, Everybody want to debate Big Mark, you know what I'm saying? Listen. It was a 2.5 hour debate. But Big Mark came out victorious. And you already know who Big Mark had. You already know it. Do I got to go back in my closet and get that Mitchell and Ness? Not the swing man. We don't do swing man jerseys. You dig what I'm saying? Don't let me have to put that Mitchell and Ness on with them number 6s. You dig what I'm saying? So, all right, today we're going to get back to it. We want to talk about money. We want to talk about profit margins. Because here's the thing. Let me tell you something about Big Mark. Big Mark ain't going to talk about something I don't know about. And I always drop the link. I'm always up for a good challenge. Now, profit margins. All right. Now, I was having a conversation the other day with Midwest. All right. Shout out to Midwest. And he was kind of, I don't know if it was a question or about the 2 to 8%. All right. Now, let me tell you something. And I've said this all the time since day one. This is from experience, right? And also data. Now, without the data, I have the experience. And without the experience, I still have the data. Collectively, I have both, right? Real life experience plus the data, right? So if I say something, it comes from real life experience and data. Like, I'm just not pulling numbers out of my behind. All right. Now you got some people that we've seen do that in the space. Pull these numbers out of their behind. Now, it is 2024. All right. You are in an information age. The information highway is at the tip of your fingers. So anytime you hear somebody say something, you have the ability to go fact check it. Everybody has a phone. All right. So it's crazy to me if I say, yo, the margins are less than 10%, average, that's what they are. If I tell you that the FMCSA hires research firms to collect data every single year, like you are privy to this information as well also. Like I'm not making shit up just to make shit up. This is fact. Now, it may be hard for some people to believe that operational costs, and make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn on all your post notifications. It may be hard for you to believe that the margins are that small, but trucking is not the only industry where the margins are that small. There's a lot of industries that operate on small margins. So I don't understand why, some people don't believe that when the information is right there. Let's use our common sense. Let's use common sense. If the margins were bigger, I think that would be a driving force, a driving factor, which would increase the success rate, right? I think one of the outside people not doing what's in their best interest, I think a contributing factor to the high failure rate in trucking is due to the fact that the margins are razor thin. And this is why I say, before you go into a debate with Big Mark, make sure you got your facts in a row. Before you try to, make sure you know. Listen, when there was an opportunity to have increased profit margins, even though the operational cost was high, or the cost of entry was high, the revenue generated was also high due to increased volume, increased demand, which increased the rates, right? In all sectors, right? The failure rate was not as high as it is or as it was prior, when things are correct or things are normal and people are operating on smaller margins. It takes a skilled, knowledgeable individual to successfully operate on small margins. The smaller the margins, the more people are going to fail. So when I get challenged on these profit margins, I don't understand why people just don't go do their research. Why don't people go do their own research? You don't have to believe me. I'm going to tell you one thing. And then we're going to get into some fact checking. Because I'm not going to get up here and make myself look like a jerk or a retard. Now, if other people, and I'm not speaking about anybody specific, because if you've been watching box truck content long enough, you've seen a multitude of misinformation. That's not what I'm going to do. Right? I'm not going to do that. But you can fact check information yourself. If a multitude of people could operate on larger margins, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%, why is the failure rate 85 to 95%? Like seriously, man. Why do I have to get up here and dumb stuff down? Who told me the other day technical? Who said that? Too technical. Listen, every time I have to dumb stuff down, it makes it seem like I'm a kindergarten school teacher. If everybody was skilled enough to operate on razor thin margins, the success rate would be higher. But because most people cannot, because of their operational costs and ignorance and cost of living, it contributes to the failure rate. Like that's something that should be common sense. And that's just what it is. So I'm going to pull up, which you can Google this information, but the FMCSA has a bunch of different research groups that they contract out to collect data. I subscribe to ATRI, right? And every year they collect the data for the previous years, 2024. So we have data for last year, all right? I'm going to show you the data. We're only going to focus on operational margins. Operational margins are what's left over after expenses, right? These are the margins that you operate on, also known as profit margins, cash flow. Whatever's left goes into cash flow, right? What do you do with cash flow? This is what you use to operate on. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all your post notifications. Now, I'm gonna show this first, and then we'll go into this lecture. I know it's Saturday. I know people out doing whatever, shopping, things like that. I'm going to get out here too. And I know this is something that a lot of people don't want to watch. You rather watch BS. But the people that watch stuff like this is the people that have a better understanding of what they're investing in. And these are going to be the 5 to 15% that succeed. See, those other 85%, that's fine. We need them too. And see, listen, we need them too. We can't, listen, they don't want to do what's in their best interest, no problem. But we still need them. Because these are going to be the people that fail that are going to turn into drivers. All right. These are going to be the drivers. These are going to be the helpers. These are going to be the people that do the things that we don't want to do or that we no longer have to do. And it may sound cocky, but it's not. You know why? Because everybody can't win. The reason why, the proof is 5 to 15%. So you can be in the 5 to 15% success, or you could be in the 85 to 95% that fail. All right, now let's look at this. First of all, let me do this. What page is this? It's 47, because this is research, so it's a lot of graphs, a lot of charts. But we don't want to focus on certain things. We want to focus on operational cost, the average operational cost, because we like to prove. We're going to cite our sources, even though we cited them a million times, but we're going to cite them more because people, I don't know, but people just love the game Big Mark. All right, so here is a analysis. Right, hold on. Let me see. Make sure I got it right here. Let me pull it up on the bigger, so I can pull it just that up here. Huge in the center, blow it up big there, center that, boom. There go, let's go there with it, boom. All right, so here is the analysis, right? Boom. All right, this is an analysis of operational cost of trucking 2024, but 2024 is going to show you the 2023. Now, this is one of the research groups that the FMCSA hires each and every year to collect data. This is the data that your search engines, when the search engine spider crawls and things like that, this is where that information, one of those sources where the information is pulled from. Now, this is a company similar like J.J. Keller, like I said, that the FMCSA contracts out to collect the data. Why don't people think data exists? Data exists. Like, I don't pull numbers from my ass. Pause. All right, so boom. American Transportation Research Institute. Like, this is like, all right, so let's go. It's a lot of pages, a lot of graphs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving you the sauce. All this stuff is, you can find this information yourself. This is why I love when people challenge Big Mark. Because, like, bro, like, the information is here, bro. Like, people just got to go do their research. Like, I'm not finna get up here and make myself look crazy. I'm never gonna make myself look crazy. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. You feel what I'm saying? Let's go 47 right here. This is what we want to look at. Average operating margin by fleet size. All right. Now, this is the last 3 years, 21, 22, and 23. All right. Now, most people who subscribe to my channel are going to be in this category right here, right? For those that don't know, this little symbol right here, that's a less than sign. This symbol over here is a greater than sign. I got to get technical, right? Well, Mark, how can you tell this is a less than and this is a greater than sign? It's a simple trick to know the difference is less than sign, the open side is going to be right, and it's going to be like an L. All right. So you incorporate the L with less than. It's an easy way to differentiate less than or greater than. All right. Most people aren't going to have 26 or more trucks. All right. So right here, average operating margin by fleet size, 2021 to 2022. So a person, a single owner operator, is going to fall in this category here. Last year, 5.6%. Now, outside of the single owner operator, just look at this percentages for just different fleet sizes: 26 to 100, 100 to 250, 250 to 1,000, more than 1,000 trucks, which would be your mega carriers. They're all low. Most of them are under 10%. So where are we getting these 70%? Where are we getting these 60s and these 50s and these 30s and these 35s and these 40s? This represents people who do business correctly. Where are these anomalies at? When people tell me things that are unicorn or anomalies, I want to see why that their business or they are an anomaly. Because if you're working on 70% profit margins in trucking, like you should be sitting down with Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart. You need to be sitting down with Grant Cardone. You need to be sitting down with people of high stature doing interviews, because you figured out something that nobody else has figured out. You figured out a way to operate in a industry where the operational costs are extremely high. The average for fuel that your vehicle, solo owner operator, or your fleet in totality is going to consume about 30% fuel consumption. 30% of your gross revenue coming in is going to go right back out, 30 to 40% in fuel. What type of business are we doing? And this is why I love this shit. Like, as far as like information and debating, I love when I'm challenged. I'm not going to jump out the window and challenge nobody unless I got my ducks in a row. My T's going to look like that. My I's going to have a dot on top of them. Like, where are we coming up with this shit, bro? Once again, I don't pull shit out my ass, pause. So the FMCSA is lying? Are all the truckers that the data is derived from, are these people lying? So where are the anomalies? Where's these unicorns? 5.6%. Now look at the 2021. 2021, 2021, 2021, 2021, 2021. Now, if you notice, for 2021, 2022, you're going to see that the bigger the carrier, even when the pandemic started to taper off, the bigger companies went up. Wonder why? Wonder why? Should we talk about that, or should we save that for another day? I wonder why. Let's see who's smart. Why do you guys think that the bigger the carrier, profit margins went up as the pandemic started to taper off? Let's see who's smart. Say it's not about being smart. I think it is about being smart. I think the smarter you are, the more successful you are. I think the more you do what's in your best interest to educate yourself, I think the better out you'll be, right? Because what we see when I do call-in shows and when I talk to people and I try to give them formulas and I try to help people, more people don't want to listen to sound advice, or they don't want to do what's in their best interest and educate themselves. They rather spend their free time doing other things. You get in business to make money, and in this industry, you got to compete. Like, the money ain't going to just come to you. The opportunities ain't going to come to you. You have to go take them. You have to have a skill set to take them. You have to have a business IQ to know how to go out there and put yourself in a position to take them. 2021 was a year that independent owner operators saw an increase in profit margin. Right? Why? Because revenue went up. Revenue went up, more opportunities. Cost was beginning. The box truck business at this current time is a waste of time. Don't do it. Come up here and substantiate your claim. Link is pinned. Link is in the chat. Come up here and explain to me why you think that. Because I defer. You come into my chat. You say it's a waste of time. Come tell me why. That's a very bold statement. So please explain to me why it's a waste of time. How? What's the name? The unfiltered version. Come tell me why it's a waste of time. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. I'll wait for you, but I'm going to continue. I'm 75% sure that the link is not going to get clicked, but I've never seen this person before, so I'm going to leave it to chance 25% that individual may click the link. But I'm willing to bet, though, probably not. I could be wrong, though. Volume went up. Opportunity increased. Operational cost was rising at the time, too, right? Just as being people that came in during 2021, there were still people that came in 2020 before costs started to rise. The people that started to come in at the very beginning, costs hadn't risen yet. Costs hadn't started to rise. There were people that were in prior to 2020. Those people that came in 2018, 2019, 2017, they came in when things were normal. Their operational cost wasn't as high as the individual that came in midway through 2021 or 2022, right? So those people saw a bigger profit margin, 2020, 2019. Anybody that say came in 2020 and beyond before, right? They saw an increased profit margin because rates went up. So their profit margin increased. Like, this is pretty much cut and dry. It's cut and dry. Obviously, 2023, things decreased. Why? Volume decreased from 2022 to 2023. It was going down anyway. Rates started to correct themselves. People got corrected out. Things normalized. And last year, this was the operating margin for a solo owner operator. But across the board, it's pretty much less than 10%. So once again, I'm asking, where are we getting these numbers? And then when people make claims in my chat, you know me, link is pinned. You can't make claims unless you can substantiate your claim. See, me, I can substantiate, I can articulate every single thing I say. Well, I'm not going to say shit that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You're not going to catch me talking in a highly, you're not going to catch me doing red pill content, even though I have my viewpoints on it, but I'm not fresh and fit. That's just not my lane. You're not going to catch me over there. You're not going to catch me in a political spectrum. Why? Because even though I have my views, there's people who focus on politics. They study politics. They have degrees and backgrounds in politics. They have experience working in political forums. I'm not going to debate or call myself a political content creator because it's just not what I do. Yes, I'm well versed in a bunch of different things. But I'd rather stick in this little bitty niche of box trucking that doesn't pay well on YouTube because I know I can dominate this because I'm educated on it and I have years of experience. So when I say something, it comes from experience and data. I'm not going to say shit to draw in an audience because I'm saying things that I want people to hear. I say the things that are true that I know is not going to resonate with the majority because the majority of influence is saying something completely opposite of what I'm saying. Whether it may be from lack of experience or marketing to get people to buy in to whatever it is they're selling. If you're entering into an industry, you're supposed to do your research to know what you're getting into. Me coming up here creating content, dispelling things that I'm challenged on is nothing to me. I do this shit every day. It's nothing for me to post a link. Why? Because I already knew what I was talking about before I went live. So when like Midwest said the 30%, no, just like I told him the other day, no, show me proof. The reason why I keep picking on Vic with the 70%, he said it. Show me proof. Cite your sources. Show me the proof. They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I keep showing the proof. So you saying the FMCSA is hiring illegitimate R&D companies to give you this information so that you can do what's in your best interest? They spending the money to give you the information so you know what you're getting into before you get into it. They're telling you, yo, If you look at this report, it'll tell you what the average person is spending per mile in fuel, per mile in labor. And then they'll give it to you per hour. The research has been done. They've paid millions and millions of dollars every single year to collect the data for you, and you don't use it. I use the data. And I even get challenged from other people when the data is there. I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass. You make me look better by challenging shit that's free for you to go find on your own. That's what's crazy to me. You give me more content to make to come dispel the misinformation. When I get challenged, my correct information gets challenged. You make it easy for me. And even with me telling you this, it's still going to be easy for me. You know why? Because majority of the people are not going to do what's in their best interest and do the research. You know why? Because statistics and data says you won't. And even with you knowing that, you still won't. So now what? So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Did anybody have the answer or why the mega carriers' profit margin has gone up? Should we get into that, or should we say that maybe for tomorrow? Because I know why the mega carriers are making more money now than they were 2 years ago. And if you got common sense or common knowledge, you should too. What's known don't be explained. If you're out here and you're working and you're doing the research, then you should know too. %10 or less. That's what you saw across the spectrum. From the solo owner operator to 26 to 100 to 100 to 250, 250 to 1,000, 1,000 and above. If 30% of my cost is going to fuel, 30 to 40%, that leaves me with 60 to 70%. We still got other costs. We're allotting another 10 to 15% of our gross revenue a year for maintenance. We're allotting another 10 to 15% for insurance. And the list goes on. We got miscellaneous, we got labor, we got Uncle Sam. You know why I don't talk about taxes a lot? Because people ain't paying them. We had one guy come up here, been running for 4 years. Y'all know who he is because he said it. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to make it seem like I'm picking on. He said it. He's been up here a couple times and he said it at least twice. 4 years he's been running, hasn't paid taxes not one time. Every year around tax time, he wants to talk and still doesn't pay his taxes. So most people are not paying their taxes, but they want to tell you about they're doing this, they're doing that, and man, they bought this and they bought that, and bought that, ain't got nothing to do with the business. Then they want to tell you about, they think they doing good and they could be doing something else and they could be doing worse. Man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with business. People guessing numbers because they're not tracking their expenses. And this is why I can challenge, like I just challenged this person. You see what I'm saying? When people say stuff like this, How can you tell somebody else not to do something? How can you tell somebody else not to do something? Because now is a better time than 2021. Yeah, the trucking industry right now is better than 2021. You know why? Because it's normal right now. You can get in for a fraction of the cost, and if you know what you're doing because you do what's in your best interest, you can win. 2021 was what you call a unicorn year, an anomaly. It wasn't real. You can't compare trucking to 1 year. And everybody wants to compare it to this 1 year. It'll never happen again. And it's unfortunate most of y'all came in during that time period. But that's not what trucking looks like on the grand scheme of things. Trucking didn't look like that before that time. And after that time, it doesn't look like it. So when I keep saying y'all keep waiting for it to go back, what does back look like? Because if you take that period out of the equation, we're already back. We're back to normal. We're back to volatility. Trucking is volatile. Anything that has a market associated with it is volatile. The spot market, the stock market, the crypto market, anything that I've ever indulged in that has a market associated with it has always been volatile. What are we talking about? Am I tweaking? Do I gotta hit the button on myself? Because sometimes I be like, why people can't get this? Why is it a very select few that I see that actually get it? Why don't the majority understand this? I've tried to dumb this down, but then I get challenged. Even I get challenged by content creators. And I win every time. I'm not going to talk about shit that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I may seem like the mass majority are saying this and I'm saying this, that should be one of them things that make you say, why is it that he differs from a lot of the shit the majority say? It may not necessarily mean that they're right and he's wrong. It may be the other way around. Experience does matter. Education level does matter. And I'm not talking about general education. I'm not talking about your general education. I'm talking about education as far as what you're investing in. General education is great too, right? You never want to not be educated. You know what I'm saying? You always want to educate yourself, especially in something that you're investing in, especially something that's on a competitive landscape such as this, especially if you're entering into something, especially a spot market that's volatile, especially if you're entering into an industry that is based on economical factors, even though they say they don't. Yes, they do. Why? Because you're moving consumer goods. If the economy goes in a downturn and less people are spending money, which equates to less volume, now you have those same amount of truckers competing for less freight to move, which is going to do what? Contribute to what? Rates going down. Like, bro, it's like, do we have to continuously go over this? And see, this is why I'll be like, yo, y'all sure y'all want to do this with me? And this is why I can consistently, confidently drop that link. I'm still waiting on this person to come up and explain to me why trucking is a waste of time. How you can't win when Ryder is basically telling you, come get 2 trucks. for nothing. When you got all these companies trying to give you trucks, why? Because they're not moving right now. You can damn near go get 2 trucks for less than $40,000. You can come in with a very low operational cost right now. I'm proving to you that majority of the people in this industry cost to operate are extremely high. So knowing what your competition looks like, forget their operational costs. Look at the landscape of the mindset of the people. I'm putting it on display for you. So you see what the mindset of your competition is. You see what their cost is. So now you know, let me come in with a lower cost. Let me educate myself because this is who I'm competing with. As long as I'm smarter than them and I can run at a lower operational cost than them, I'm beating them each way. Bro, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? This is easy for me. See, this is easy for me. It's easy for me. They make it easier. Stop making this shit so easy for me. It's already easy. It's going to be easy anyway. Don't make it easier for me. Stop making me look good. I see everything. Okay, who we got here? Okay, I hope this is a detractor. I hope this is a detractor. I'm feeling good today. I want detractors. What's going on, brother?
Another day, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. What you a critic or a detractor? Or what you got for me, big dog?
Yeah, so I'm a Class A CDL driver. I work for Performance. I don't know if you know what that is. It's similar to Cisco. You know what Performance is? Food group.
Food. You do food, right?
Yeah, so food delivery. That's what I do right now. Yeah, food delivery.
What's
So
up, man?
I'm in Central Florida. I've been watching. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm in Central Florida right now. I average about 1,300 to 1,600 a week, 5 days a week, 50 hours. I've been looking to get into the box truck business. I already set up LLC. I started looking into the insurance. I have a pretty clean drive. I have nothing on my driving record. So my insurance was depending on the vehicle that I was looking to get. I was looking at something older. I watched a couple of your videos and some other people. I was looking at like 2015 Freightliners, 26-foot box truck. My insurance rate was probably about 1,500 to to 18, depending on the vehicle I was looking at. And I'm interested in doing final mile overall since I do delivery right now. I have a house. I like coming home to my house. So I just wanted to know if it was profitable or if it was worth getting into the box truck business with what I'm making right now versus what's available out there.
So you want questions answered. You want me to answer your questions, right?
That's correct. I've done a
Yeah.
fair amount of research, I feel like, though.
This wasn't the live stream for that, but
You were talking
but
about the
but
profit margins in it, so that's kind of my question: is the profit margin in it? Like, can
there's
I
always
make
a profit margin. There's always a profit margin in it. There's always a profit margin if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, if you asking me, should you leave your job to come do this, then that's not an answer I'm gonna give you. Can you
No,
make
that's not really the question.
hold on. Can you make more money than $1,300 to $1,500 a week doing final mile delivery? Yes. Can you do it with one truck consistently? Maybe, maybe not. Because you have to factor in, you're gonna need a helper, right? And you're
Yeah.
gonna have to factor in fluctuation. I don't know what's going on as far as appliance. Well, you want to do furniture or appliance delivery?
I'm assuming I would say
Ain't
appliances
no,
because
ain't no, ain't no assume which one you want to do. Ain't no
I
assume.
really don't care. I don't care either one, but I would say appliance because because it's less install, it's less putting together. I got a buddy who has a furniture contract, and he has to put together the couches and everything. And I don't want to do that part.
That
I'm not
that that
skilled enough to do that part.
that well, you see, that's where you're wrong at. That's furniture contracts that you don't have to put nothing together. Appliances is always going to be more tedious than furniture.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what are you putting together for furniture? A couch? You're not putting what's the most you're gonna put? Hold on. The most you're gonna do for a couch is screw the legs in. It may be the legs where you screw them in, or it may be the legs that you got the long screw and you put the leg on there and you stick the screw in the hole and you take your impact drill and you take your extended bit and you put it in that hole and you drill it in. What you gonna put some legs on some tables? Ask the customer if they want the leaf put in there or not. All right.
Bedroom furniture, I would
Hold on.
assume, would be the hardest.
Okay. Well, to me, that's easier than a French door refrigerator and
Okay.
taking the doors off, putting them back on, the water line, all that stuff. To me, that install is a lot more tedious. And guess what? The claims are a lot higher.
I've seen you
Me
say that.
personally, I rather deal with a sofa and some tables and some chairs and a bed frame before I deal with a refrigerator.
I
So you're
respect
wrong.
that.
You're wrong on that. I'm just telling you from experience that anybody that's done this will tell you they'd rather probably deliver a table and 6 chairs than a a a a, a, a wash tower or a French door side by side refrigerator.
See, and this is why I've ended up on your content. A lot of other people tell you, you'll make $1 million in your first year. It's going to be all green and roses, and business is going to boom and flourish. As I started to get into it, I had that good old 10,000 that everybody has to start up the business. I have a couple relationships with Penske and Ryder because I do yard work at my company I'm with. So I've been talking to them about getting the rentals, and they've been giving me some pretty good deals. I got a rider looking to do me at $650 a week and 13 cents per mile. I was looking to rent instead of buying to start out. But then as I'm watching your videos, I'm seeing how quick of a setup that is, and I'm seeing how quick that money can go. And I got a couple buddies who jumped in with that 10 and it went right out the window. So now that kind of gave me cold feet just thinking like, it's not sweet out here. You're not just going to jump in and not have no hiccups. You got
It,
to be
it
prepared for a little bit.
it never was sweet. It never
I
was
got
sweet.
in 2021, 2022 area, and the money was crazy then. I was averaging, 25 to 3 a week, back then. And I just feel like then it would have been a little bit
I, I
easier.
I just talked about that. Were you watching the part of the live stream when I talked about that? Do
Yes,
you
sir.
understand why? Do you understand why now?
Yes, sir.
Because you probably didn't understand why then. You probably just
Yes,
thought
sir.
when you got in that just was just what it was, right?
Yeah,
So
I
so
did. I thought that was
okay,
normal.
okay, no, that was absolutely not normal. What you're in now is normal.
Yeah.
This is normal.
I'm
Okay.
seeing it.
Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Anybody that's a real logistics individual trucker will tell you this is normal. Why? Because it's volatile.
Absolutely. And that's what makes me nervous because I do a lot of research. I'm not one of those people who wants to just jump out there. I don't want to just have my own business because I want to work for myself and I don't want to work for anybody. I just want to maximize my earning potential. So the way that I was looking at it, I have a baby on the way. I was gonna go start my own box truck business when I had the baby and I'm on maternity leave. You get up to 3 to 6 months or something like that on the maternity leave. And I just wanted to boost my income or maximize what I can make while my lady's not able to work doing the box truck. And then as I got towards that, position, my baby's doing February, as I'm getting towards that spot where I'm looking to, invest in the truck and get my MC and authority, all that activated, I was like, well, hold on, this little 10 can go right out the window. and I don't even know if I'll be able to profit that back. I had a couple buddies who authority I could lease under, but they didn't even really know a lot of things about the industry. They don't know about factoring. They didn't know about final mile, and they're in Chicago, so they're in the best market, and they're running dry vans, sprinter vans, and so they've
So
been able to win.
they're company drivers, right? You said they're company drivers.
No,
So
no, it's a family business,
they're owner operators,
owner operator.
and you said they don't know about what?
They didn't know about final mile or factoring, a couple different things.
So you see what a level of ignorance that I talk about all the time? Do you see it?
I see it on the people that come into the live. That's kind of what made me interested to jump in because I feel
But
like
you
that's
saying you're seeing it from firsthand experience with people you know though.
no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. A lot of people don't do the research. You know, you see the YouTube videos with people telling you everything that you want to hear, and that's all people listen to. They don't really go doing no more like further research on it. And that's kind of why I'm here. You seem like one of the people who keep it the realest. Funny enough, I ran into Box Truck Bros on my route last week. I got a picture with them. I just posted on my Instagram. But I asked him the same question. I was like, I watch your content. I'm a Class A CDL driver working for a company right now, looking to do my own thing. Do you think it's worth it? And his honest response when he seen me in person, he said you could probably look at 2,200 or 2,200 a week doing final mile, and then obviously you got to pay your helper. So I was just like, 2,200 with expenses and everything else, that's not really going to be worth it for me to leave the company I'm with, especially if my goal is not to just work for my own self or work for not work for somebody else, have my own company. My goal is just to maximize my earning potential.
You said 2,200 after expenses.
No, 2,200 minus helper fees and just 2,200 a week average and 6 days a week.
2,200 gross.
Gross, not net.
Oh, that's wrong.
What would you say that number is?
It's market dependent, but
I'm in
depending
Central
on
Florida. When I broke down that
all right.
that
So
2,200.
hold on. Market dependent, right? But an
Mm-hmm.
average final mile company, market dependent, is doing anywhere from 3,000 on the low side to 7,000. Now, when I say market depending, that also depends on what your level of status is within that 3PL too, because there's some better paying routes. Once you get in there, yeah, you're gonna make the average of what the market is paying, based on an average amount of stops. But some of those stops, the volume is heavier, right? And they're just higher paying routes. You see what I'm saying? For various amount of reasons. You could be in Chicago, I'm in a big market, and let's say the route that is in a more affluent suburb, they're getting bigger appliances, let's say, that is going to require more scope of work, right? And the more scope of work is those add-ons where you increase your revenue. Some people can do a multitude of stops, whereas others can't. Some people cannot get as many stops because they may have to travel further out from where the 3PL is to get to their route, and that travel time, they have to, diminish the amount of stops because they may be spending a lot of time traveling, whereas a person who, let's say, is in the city is about 15 miles from the 3PL and the route is more dense, can do 18 stops. You see what I'm saying? So there's a few different variables there. You know what I'm saying? So
I have a buddy. I have a
but
buddy
20
running out of Norcross, Georgia, that started his own company, and he's doing final mile. And he got a furniture contract, which is a dedicated weekly contract. I forgot the exact name of the company, but he's getting 280 a mile with them, and he's running all the way up the East Coast to Virginia, all New Jersey area from Georgia. But I just don't know if that's kind of something common.
2,200 is low, bro. So I can't tell you what Central Florida is getting because I've never looked into Central Florida. You know what I'm saying? As far as market research, uh, as far as final mile is concerned. So that's something you kind of want to look into. See how many people are buying homes. see what the median, the mean income is. Just certain things that you would do when you do market research. I got a video on how to uh, uh, research that. Apartments in comparison to homes, right? Obviously,
Hmm.
apartments. See how what's new development is coming up. Is there a lot of new
Hmm.
development? All these types of things are things that you want to look for when you're doing your market research. But I wouldn't have
Okay, and then
told you 2200 is low. So, and that's what I'm saying. The correct way to answer that, I wouldn't have just told you a number because there's a range, but then again, it all depends on your market.
mhm.
If you're in the middle of nowhere and I tell you 2200 and then you take that information, you go run with it, and then once you get back to your market, whether you
Yeah.
think that's good or bad, you do it, and then there's nothing available. The only thing you gonna remember I said was 2200. You see what I'm saying? So
All right,
yeah.
so my
Listen,
last question would be then.
everybody gonna so yeah, whatever. So
Yeah, my last question would be then for insurance, is Progressive the main? Do carriers respect other providers for insurance? If I went with one of the smaller ones, but it had a better rate, would I get looked or frowned upon for not having
I
Progressive insurance?
no. Why you think that? Who told you that?
Just like how car insurance works, certain companies are not as reputable, so they don't get respected or appreciated. If you go get like the cheap local insurance, they're not going to give you the same type of
Per,
policy
per,
versus.
you I mean, find you a broker. Get you a broker. I've never been turned away. I've never heard of anybody being turned away because of the company. People get
Mm,
turned away because of the policy. They may not have enough coverage. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I've never heard anybody getting turned away because
the
they didn't
provider.
want to deal. They didn't want to deal with a specific provider. Progressive, you know, they're one of the ones that are going to be high. You know, but you want to get a broker to and allow the broker to like find you the best deal. Don't shop it
Absolutely.
yourself because you're only going to be able to go to like one or two places. You want to get a
And then
broker so
with the
the broker can shop you because there's a plethora of companies out there that you probably never heard of. Even if you do a Google search, they won't come up that the broker can put you together a policy and try to it'll be better than you going out trying to source insurance on your own, commercial insurance on your own. But you gotta find a good
absolutely.
broker. You gotta find a good broker though. Not every broker is
And
good.
then
Some brokers will just push you straight into Progressive, and they'll tell you, "Oh, well, this is the only company that will pick you up," and then they'll tell you that an hour after you make the inquiry with them, which is bullshit. A good broker is going to take about at least a week, week and a half to get back to you. Broker can't shop you in an hour. A person gets back to you in an hour, they went straight to Progressive and they're giving you a quote, and then they're selling you because they know you're ignorant and you don't know no better.
absolutely. That's why I appreciate the knowledge. And then for a new authority looking to do final mile, I've seen you say it for the Chicago area, but I don't know if and those same companies work for Central Florida as far as which ones that'll take a new authority.
Well, a lot has changed since the pandemic. You know, some final mile companies aren't taking any and everybody no more. A lot of them are still are because final mile is one of the lanes that is the least appealing to people because of the labor that's associated with it. More people are looking to do middle mile because they've been sold this whole dream of no touch freight and you ain't got to work and all this, that, and the third. So majority of people coming in to box trucking are going in that lane. Um, so there are some that have heightened their uh uh their on board as far as um putting that barrier there for new owner operators of 6 months or 9 months or whatever it may be. But for the most part, majority of final mile companies are still, on board you if you are a new owner operator, have a new authority.
For people who like me who don't know any companies off the top, could you throw like a couple names out there? for just people listening to me?
T Force, JB Hunt, Final Mile, NAL, Siva, the Delatone, Pilot. There's a plethora of them. I can go on and on and on, bro.
How do you spell
And then, oh,
Siva? I seen you mention that.
and then there's some regional companies too. So you gotta look for regional companies down in your market too that I may not know of because I'm not in the Southeast. So those are the big companies, but there's also regional companies too that have, retailer contracts on a regional level. Top Hat operates down there. They're originated from Chicago. So I know they're down in the Southeast now. They've kind of branched out. Seva spelled CEVA.
So I got T Force, JB Hunt, Siva, averaging 3 to 7 a week, depending on the company. Get a broker
That,
for
that's
insurance.
a low end to high end. You ain't getting
Yeah,
7,000. You ain't getting 7,000 down there.
I don't expect that.
Especially on the new. You're not getting that type of money. That's a big market number, and that's when you go into a 3PL, that's a team that's been there probably 5-10 years. You'll probably see 3 guys on that truck. All right.
Hmm.
That's one of them routes where you'll see three guys, probably 3
And a big
Mexicans.
load.
Probably 3
Yeah.
Mexicans. One of them speak English, 2 of them don't. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen this. Them ones where they getting big loads, they doing that shit. They the first ones there in the morning, and they the first ones done.
But see, I'm coming with that type of attitude with if I was to do it anyway. I don't want to
But
put
but
nobody
but
else in
but
my
but the,
truck.
but the stuff they doing, you're not gonna do.
And see, I kind of think that's gonna be my niche because a lot of people don't want to do final mile because you don't want to touch freight. People just want to, go OTR and not touch anything and expect $2 a mile. I'm kind of coming in like I'll get it out the nitty gritty. I'll go jump into the truck. I'll go do final mile. I'll go, build this furniture or deliver these appliances. And I have a team of people. I have buddies that are willing to work as well, and we all kind of carry that same mindset. So I'm like, I feel like I have the right mindset for it, and I'll do that extra work to make the business successful and to have longevity
No,
in it.
when I
But
say what they doing, like I'm looking at them. One guy in the house, one guy's on the truck, and they'll come back. The guy come back and get a 3-seater sofa. It'll be sitting on the edge of the truck, and the one Mexican, both knees is tied up. He got both knees tied up like he finna bench press some Ronnie Coleman shit. He putting the whole 3-seater sofa on his side of his neck. You know what I'm saying? And walking down the street with it, going up the stairs, and still got to get through the door and do all that stuff. Like I don't train. I've never trained nobody to do that. So this is how they get out. You see what I'm saying? And
well,
and and because they'll put 3 guys on the truck, they're able to they have a system where they can get more done, right? But they're divvying the money up 3 different ways because their cost of living, I'm keeping it a
it's a little
buck,
cheaper.
it's a lot, but that's because they want it to be cheaper. So
On my soul.
those guys, they getting them routes like that, and then once they get in somewhere like that, they don't go nowhere. So as they move up and scale up as far as with their tenure, as people fall off, they get those better and higher paying routes. So it's just certain
And
things that I wouldn't train nobody to do because I'm not putting no couch on the side of my neck. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, on my soul. And I understand that, but I mean, doing food delivery, I'm already doing probably 15 stops, 600 cases, 20,000 pounds a day. So I'm used to, and I've been doing that for the last 4 years. So I'm used to driving. I'm used to touching freight. That all is kind of familiar to me. Running ELDs and all that good stuff. So I have a little bit of familiarity with this. I just haven't done it for myself yet. I've been
yeah,
doing all company
but
driving.
but the claims too. You're gonna
And
get claims.
I've seen that damaging people's
So
floors. I've seen floors. It's probably
so
floors,
so
walls.
so your first delivery on a Monday could be your gross for the whole week. So
Mm.
your first delivery on Monday morning That could be your gross for the whole week, because you're dealing with high
Saying
ticket
that's all the
items.
work that you'll get.
So if you damage a $4,000 refrigerator or a $4,000 wash tower, and you grossing 3,500 or 4,000 for the week, your first delivery you got a $4,000 claim.
Yeah.
So who you gonna pay for it? The retailer ain't gonna pay for it. The middle mile ain't the 3PL ain't gonna pay for it because they didn't do the damage. You did, and
Your
you got to
business
prove that you didn't. No.
Business insurance doesn't cover that.
No. You can get it, but guess what? You get them to cover that, and then they're gonna drop you. So then what you gonna do? When you running final mile, you cover that. This is commercial insurance, big dog.
Mm-hmm.
You don't file no claims for commercial insurance except for the big shit.
No, not the commercial, because business insurance in state of Florida, I could get business insurance with a certain policy on that. I couldn't get
Hold
that to
on,
cover it.
This is business insurance. You got your general liability, your commercial auto, and your cargo, and if need be, your workers' compensation.
So that would come out of cargo, then you're saying?
It would come out of general liability.
Okay.
But as soon as you
I see what you're
file it,
saying.
if you have a good broker, the first time I thought the same thing. When I went to my broker, he said, you might want to take the hit for this. And he explained to me why. Commercial insurance is different. You can't be going filing for these little frivolous $4,000 when you run a business. That ain't nothing, bro. That ain't nothing. That's nothing that you go file a claim for. That's something you pay out of pocket. Anybody that's in this industry will tell you that. Because guess what? It ain't going to stop with that one. $5,000, that's something you're going to pay out of pocket. $6,000, something you're going to pay out of pocket. It's not worth filing that because next week we're going to be looking for a new carrier.
Mm-hmm. And I respect that. So, and that's another question I had too. That rider deal that I had, it was $650. I want to say $682 exactly a week, and 13 cents per mile. Doing final mile, not buying the truck. Obviously, you want to keep your profit margins as low as possible, but being realistic, I can't go buy a truck.
Why you want to keep your profit? Why you want to keep your profit margins as low as possible? Why would you want to do that?
No. You want to keep your operation costs as low as possible to keep
See,
your profit
I'm
margin
listening to
high.
everything you're saying. I'm listening to everything you're saying. So this guy, make
I
sure
said
you
that
say it
wrong.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But whatchamacallit, having that rental fee versus owning your own truck and having a little bit higher operational costs, is that enough to put you out of business? Or is that still a way that you can, especially doing final mile and doing less miles, is that something that might be able to be sustainable?
What, renting
That's
the truck? You saying renting the truck over buying the truck?
renting a truck at $680 a week, 13 cents per mile, doing final mile.
I mean, you could sustain with that if you got the volume, right? And you got a good rate that they giving you, making enough money. That's sustainable because if they not sending you too far out, even if they send you 100, 150 miles out, still in fuel, you're not really getting hit like that, like someone that be going over the road. So, that's sustainable. Yeah.
Okay. I would that was really the only questions I had, and so I pretty much got my answers. I'm nervous. I don't want to jump into it and not educate myself. And that's one of the things that you preach about the most is educating yourself. So I've been trying to make sure I get as much knowledge as possible.
Based on what you're telling me, though, you do got a low risk tolerance.
I want to take educated risks or just
I said low. I said low with just some of the shit that you said you got coming up in your personal life. So that's something that you wanna you wanna. That's something you kind of want to really look into. Your risk tolerance. So
for sure.
You
And
got
that's why I'm doing the
new kid on the way. New kid on the way. You know what I'm saying? So you want stability. So you measuring stability at this particular time versus uncertainty. I mean, at the end of the day, that's fine. You measure stability and uncertainty, but you have to add all variables into the equation. And I'm not trying to scare you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what maybe other people probably won't tell you. These are the things that you measure. So you make
Hmm.
sure it's the right time. With what you got coming up, is this the right time that you want to take this type of risk? You said the baby is due in February. What you also
Hmm.
don't know is January and February are going to be slow. February kind of picks up for final mile because it's tax season. So in certain demographics spend money during that time. Certain demographics move during that time, so they buy furniture. But that's a period where the most uncertainty is. So it's just a few different things that you want to think about. Um, if this is something you're thinking to get into at this moment, bro, with what you said you got coming up in your personal life with the baby and all.
So add a little bit to that though. My cost of living is relatively low. I have a decent amount paid down on my house, so my monthly mortgage is only 1,000. My car note is super low. My bills are super low, so I have a very low living expense, and I have a lot of people. Yeah, I'm just I have a lot of people who don't have anything going for themselves that would be willing to work for relatively low fees. And not to put down anybody, but
What
I
would
have a
you wait
lot of
wait wait
people
wait
who
wait?
don't have.
What you mean you got people that want to work for low fees? You talking about the people who gonna work on the truck with you?
Yeah, I have a lot of people who don't have opportunities,
So
and
what
I'm
you
one of
gonna
the
pay
few
them?
people
So
who.
what you gonna pay them?
A lot of my people they making. So I got a buddy right now who's wasting or working for waste management. He's doing 60 hours a week, and he only making 800 to 1,300 a week doing them 60 hours. So I
So
feel
what you
like
going
that's not
so
something.
so what you would pay them? Since you said you got people that want to work for low wages, what you gonna pay
The
them?
same thing, but probably less hours. If I could get you the same for less hours, if I can get you that 800 to 1,000 at 50 hours versus 60, that right there is the win.
How many hours you think you're gonna be working doing final mile?
I don't care how I hope more because the more hours I'm working, the more money that's to be made. So if we go over
Wrong,
that, those
wrong,
50
wrong.
hours,
You're wrong. You're wrong. Why you think that? You getting paid per stop, sir. You,
okay,
you could be out
okay,
there 18 hours. You getting paid by the stop.
yeah. I mean,
You talking
with
about?
all efficient
You
deliveries
said
and stuff, man.
you said you did some research.
Uh huh.
You ain't getting paid by the hour. You getting paid by the stop.
Correct. But I'm assuming all efficient deliveries, no hiccups with that. Just saying that we're in and out on the deliveries, and the most time is commute time or just.
And that's rare.
And I can see that. Obviously, mistakes happen, issues happen.
It's not about mistakes. It's about scope.
Mhm.
You're going into different homes every single day. Every day you're trying to squeeze something the size of a watermelon into something the size of a lemon. Every day you're gonna be faced with new obstacles.
Yeah.
It's not cut and dry like that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Every single place you go into, 9 times out of 10, there's gonna be some type of obstacle.
Very
So
true.
you have an optimistic look at it, and that's great. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic about it, but anybody that's done final mile delivery will tell you that we wish every job was like that. Most of them, for the most part, aren't. It's always something.
And I respect that. I just got a couple of things delivered. I got a new fridge delivered, and I got some doors for the house delivered. And I talked to the delivery guys that delivered those. And I mean, some of them, like the delivery guy for the doors, he just had a regular pickup truck, but he only had got, I want to say, $30 to $50 for that load.
Where'd you
And
buy the doors from? Home Depot?
yeah, Home Depot.
Okay, so that's outsourced to Roadie. That's an app. UPS owns
Okay.
that. So the came on a pickup truck that came from Roadie. So
Okay.
that's not the final mile that you're talking about doing is going to be coming from a 3PL. So if you're looking to do
Okay.
furniture, you're talking about like Bob's or Ashley or something like that. That's not something that's app based. You talking about doing appliances, Home Depot, Lowe's, they don't put appliances on apps. All right. That's something that's going to come
That's a
go through a
contract.
three. That's going to go through a 3PL, and then the 3PL is going to contract out an independent contractor. So
Okay, and I'm ignorant on what 3PL means. I'm gonna be honest. I've heard you say that a couple times. I don't know what that means.
third
What does that mean?
third third party logistics company.
Okay. And so those are dedicated contracts.
Yep.
And those are the T Forces, the JB Hunts, the Sivas that you had mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. And then, what type of rates per mile or dollar per mile are we looking at on these type of contracts?
You're not.
You're not?
I just told you get paid by the stop.
Okay.
Unless you can get a guarantee, which is kind of not likely in today's times. If you can get a guarantee, which you're 9.9%, you're not, because you knew you don't have the leverage, so you can't negotiate that. But you're gonna get paid by the stop. So
And what's the average? Is that 30 to 50 a stop? Some.
all depends on the contract, the 3PL, the market, the cost of living down there. What we get paid up here, you probably not gonna get paid down there. You know what
And
I'm
I've
saying?
seen that.
So
My buddy in Chicago is getting, he gets probably the $1.50 to $2 up there, and he's running a Sprinter van. But those rates have been real good, at least over in that Chicago area. We go to Colorado and a couple other markets, and nowhere else have I seen those type of rates. So I was expecting it to be a little bit lower, especially here in Florida, because a lot of freight coming in and not going out, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, but there's other factors that we talking final mile. So we looking at different variables. You kind of speaking from a
OTO.
middle mile perspective, So, from a final mile perspective, it's a little bit different. But so those are what I told you prior to us talking about this is kind of what determines the rate per stop that you're gonna get. So they're gonna get
All
paid
right.
per stop. You know what I'm saying? So
And like the lady who said that, box truck's not worth it right now, you disagree with that? You would say that there is, a potential to profit and that you just low margins and you have to not make any mistakes to pretty much sum it up.
I think when people say that they're ignorant or they failed or they're struggling, and they just, instead of them saying, "Listen, how can you help me? I want to listen. Can you help me? This is my situation." They just say what they don't. Most people that say that ain't experienced. You know what I'm saying? Because I got
And
people
I
making money. I got real case studies, real people have come on my channel failing and then come back a month later, just like I'm telling you, but are already in, and I told them what to do, and they come back and their whole business turned around. Some people just want to say shit because they not doing good. You know what I'm saying?
and I
It's easier now than ever. Why? Because shit, you can come in on the new right now at a fraction of the cost. You're gonna take all the shit that these people during the pandemic who followed these people who don't know what the hell they talking about. You're gonna get all they repossessed equipment for the fraction of the damn dollar. You're gonna take they
yeah.
repossessed shit for nothing and run it up. You know what I'm saying? The rates is the rates. It goes back to
But
what I
see,
said. It's a reason why there's a high failure rate.
yeah.
All right. So only a few people, is this much people gonna make it. The people that's gonna make it is gonna do all the shit that we talk about, and that's it. I haven't, I listen, bro. Like
To
is it a
speak
good
on that,
time? Yeah, it's a good. I mean, it's a better time than any. I mean, what? Okay, so if it's not a good time, what we waiting on? What we waiting
maybe
on?
just the economy to come back, to be a little bit
Come
stronger
back,
to where more
come
money
back to
is.
what? Come back to what?
At least when more money is circulating, when inflation isn't hitting so hard right now. I feel like just the common senses is everybody's a little bit down and out.
Okay,
A lot of
so
major companies are failing.
so the market comes back around to what? Where do you think the market is going to increase to? What is a better market now? What does that look like?
just being more stable as far as, living
No, no, no,
expenses
no, no.
going down.
I'm talking about a rate from a rate perspective. What does that look like?
Like per mile type of thing, if you're talking OTR.
Per we could talk per mile, you could talk from a final mile perspective, per stop. What does that look like?
2021. No, I'm lying.
You tweaking. Goofy as hell.
I'm saying though, for us who got in around that time, we seen that.
So you was in, right? And what happened? What happened? Because if you was in and you ain't in no more, but you trying to get back in, what happened? You failed. Where you go, big dog? You froze? Did you freeze? Hey man, listen. The button is the button ain't off limits for nobody. Listen, we held somebody from the crib accountable a week or two ago. Listen. Don't say no crazy shit. He almost made it off without getting the button. Hey, it was a content creator said, man, they don't like the button. Hey, check this out. Go get you a button. Hey, buddy, you free to call back up. See, that's what I'm saying. He said, oh, I'm just joking. No, you wasn't. You wasn't joking. See, that goes back to what I talk about. These dreams and role-playing scenarios and these hopes and wishes and prayers and dreams and shit. That's never gonna happen. That's why I keep telling y'all, man. What I keep telling, and people keep proving me right. Everybody want this 2021. You never gonna see that, bro. Never. What y'all waiting on? What you waiting on, big dog? Go ahead and hit the link. Link still pinned to the top of the chat. You can come back and finish I want to finish the conversation now. I want to finish it now because I want to see what else you thinking. I want to see what else types of what's the word I'm looking for? What other types of dreams and things you got going on in your head as far as trucking is concerned? You ain't dreaming, bro. You ain't gonna never see that no more. Shit crazy. Man, let me get back to my margins, man. He threw me all off. Look, man. Look, man. Look, man. Bro, I don't know what people waiting on, bro. I really don't, bro. Y'all keep waiting. Y'all keep waiting. Y'all gonna be waiting for the rest of your life. You gonna look older. You gonna look by the time you get another anomaly, hopefully you still living, but by that time you probably be too old to start this business. So keep waiting. The time is now. And when I say now, it's because the market is normal. Period. This is what you get. All right. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. It's people winning out here. When there's blood in the street, there's opportunity. I don't know, so it is what it is. I don't see, and I see that person that said that shit earlier, never click the link. Wise. That was a wise decision. Very wise decision. So it is what it is. Appreciate your content, information for your. I appreciate you. Let's see. He said something about people laying people off. Yeah, people laying people off. Yeah, people start laying people off towards the end of the pandemic too. You got to shave some of the fat meat. Yeah. Numbers are down, the economy is down, but guess what we learned during the pandemic too? We also learned that we can still get a level of productivity done with less. we can still get a high level of productivity done with less. We can shave off all the fat meat, all the lazy people who we thought we needed, but the pandemic showed us that we didn't need. And with shaving all these people off, we're going to save this much money. The people that we keep, we can give them a slight little increase, and we're still saving a bunch of money. And all those people that we got rid of, now we can get rid of all this real estate, renting big 50, the whole floor on these high-rise buildings in Chicago, New York, and LA. We paying $70,000, $80,000 a month for all this office space and all these big skyscrapers. We can close that whole floor down. We can get rid of our operations in this market, close out. So now we're saving there, which increases our profit margin. And guess what? Guess what happens when you have public traded companies that when they shave the fat meat and still maintain some level of productivity, what happens? Profit margin goes up. And who is that good for, ladies and gentlemen? Who is that good for? Who is that good for, ladies and gentlemen? My phone died. I mean to bang in the line. Appreciate this. I'm going to push for it and keep the channel updated. 10-4. It's good for the shareholders. It's good for the shareholders. It's good for the shareholders. Absolutely. Absolutely. The pandemic was a gift to many, and it was a curse to many. It was a gift to many, and it was a curse to many. Yes, there's a lot of people who now have to work. Listen, what did Amazon tell people a week ago? Or was it 2 weeks ago? Y'all got to come back to work. Ain't that what they told them 2 weeks ago? If not, go find another job. Don't make us no never mind. A lot of companies are now requiring people to come back to work because they know a lot of people not going to want to. So this is an easy way to shave off more fat meat. Why? Because there's a lot of people who believe in this whole work-life balance that the pandemic afforded them. But man, that shit over with, bro. That's over with, man. Forget about it. I came in 523 of my own authority, and I'm thriving right now. Shout out to you, Harlan and Ballin. See, so not everybody is failing. If what Harlan and Ballin is saying is he represents that 5 to 15% that's succeeding. Not everybody is going to succeed. The people that do what's in their best interest are going to be the ones that do. Looking to start a cargo van business. I've been watching your videos, and a lot you saying makes sense. Appreciate that. Listen, not everybody going to agree with me, but it's strange why a lot of people do. A lot of people don't. A lot more people do, right? And the people that may not, it's not because I'm not right. It's just because they're not informed, or they choose not to be informed. And a lot of those people end up finding the channel again, saying that, man, I wish I would have listened to you first. This is why I dropped the link. Aggressively, proactively. I don't need nobody to tell me to drop it. I just drop it. I'm 100% sure in the information that I provide. I'm confident that the information that I have, if you take it, you apply it, it will work. You think I'm gonna spew this shit for free? Like my satisfaction, outside of you hitting the like button, which you're not hitting, outside of you hitting the like button, we got 76 people, 54 people, is the success rate. This is where I get my satisfaction from. There's no link for you to listen. My stock has gone up since I stopped coaching 7-8 months ago. There's more people that are on my neck for me to mentor and coach them than when I was. When I stopped, my stock went through the roof. I understand my value. And I understand that the price point, most people won't be able to afford it when I look at what my competition is providing. You as the consumer said it. Value is what a person is willing to pay for something. So when people say, man, Mark, why don't you do it anymore? Because if you pay $5,000 to a kid to misinform you and not even give you CPM in the Google Drive that you paid $3,000 for, what you expect Big Mark to charge you? When the kids that y'all paying was damn near in diapers when I got started. Value is what a person is willing to pay for something. So the price that I give you, you ain't gonna be able to afford it on the new anyway. It's gonna cut into your startup money. So I'm just gonna bless you. You paying kids $5,000 for courses and mentorship. So y'all already setting the value on it. I'm not finna get up here. So the only thing that I feel like, man, okay, bro, I get my reward is from success stories. That's how I get my reward, you know? And we just write it off as philanthropy. Seriously, that's what we write it off as, philanthropy. So shout out to Snooty Stills. But that link's still pinned to the top of the chat. I think I'm done with the lecture. I think I got to the point as far as margins, and I mean, I would love to see somebody that's making high margins in trucking. 70, 60, 50, 40, 35, 30. I would love to see like just take a little peek into they operation expenses, they books. I would love to just peek. You know what I'm saying? Peek into that. I would love to peek into that. I guarantee you it's going to be some robbing from somewhere. Sustainability, most likely. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because if you get up to 50, 60, 70%, then it's just level of ignorance there that's just, you know, or it could be an individual who, like we see so many times, just account for fuel. Well, after I, put diesel in the tank, then this was left. They don't account for any other expenses. And then, even though they spending those expenses, and then after they spend those expenses, what's left is what they think they got paid. And then you be like, well, what's your cash flow? And they be like, well, what's cash flow? And then you explain it to them. And then I'd be like, you got to separate, you got to pay yourself, separate yourself from the business. Well, I am the business. And they say that shit. And then I have to explain to them how, you want to differentiate yourself from the business, and the business needs the cash flow. And then you have to create, a salary for yourself, or figure out what you want to pay yourself and live off that. You want to lower your expenses, and this, that, and the third, and so far and so forth, and which further leads back down to why the margins are where they're at. Not lead back down to where the margins are where they're at, but it contributes to the fact why so many people fail, because not everybody is skilled enough to operate on small margins. All right. Big Herm is asking that guy, and that's a question that I wanted to ask him too. And the link is still pinned to the top of the chat if there's any critics or detractors that want to come up and negate anything. I love to have a an educational sparring session. You dig what I'm saying? That's a question that I wanted to ask him too. Like, you know, I think he said he was making 1,600 a week. You know what I'm saying? So if that, what do you say, 15 to 1,600 a week, 1,500 a week, that's $6,000 a month, roughly. I get everybody, and what I was going to go further into talking to him about is that, if he wants to make more money, it's not going to come the amount of money that I'm sure he probably wants to make. He's not going to make it with one truck. He's probably going to make just about what he's making, or maybe a little less. Probably, yeah, less. He's definitely going to make less than what he's taking home, because once I add the component in there of the labor, he's going to make less. I mean, yeah, you can jump back on. I got time. I ain't got nothing to do. You can jump back on. It's not bad money, just not life changing. See, there we go. See, now you starting to tell on yourself. See, you want 2021 money, life changing, bro. Like, man, go ahead and hit the link, dog. I see a little accountability. Might have to cook up real quick. And see, I wasn't even planning on cooking. Today. Call-in show back this week, man. This call-in show week, man. Call-in show coming back, bro. Call-in show coming back this week, man. It's been long overdue. It's about 2 or 3 months, man. Bringing it back, man. Yeah, come on, man. Just hit the link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. You can come back up. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Life changing. So people want to get into the box truck business because it's life changing. Hey, some people want to get into the box truck business because it's wife changing. Is it wife changing? Nah. See, it's a difference between life changing and wife changing. Hey, some people don't know about that. That life and that wife changing. Oh, you put you a little hoodie on. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I see a couple of people had questions in the chat, and just to break it down, like I was saying earlier, the CDL is nice. I make good money with it. It's not like I'm struggling or I'm trying to bust into the box truck to like that's my only way. But it's just not, like I said, 13 to 1,600 a week. That was my main question coming into the live. If I was to jump into a box truck and do my own thing, and I'm willing to work, and I'm willing to be my own driver, can I make more than that? And kind of supplement my income, because right now, me and my wife work. So we have that double income. When I have the baby, she's not gonna be able to work. So I want to make the same amount of money that we're making now, have that same amount of income without
Well,
her working.
here's the thing. In order for me to answer that, and then you got to tell me what she make. I can't, and if you don't want to do that, then I can't really.
I'm an open book. So she averaged like another 1,000. So together, we see in 23 to 25 a week.
So let's say 10,000 a month.
Yeah, that's
So
about right.
so the box truck would have to net that, right? Because that's what your household income is seeing, right?
Absolutely.
So your household income would still need to see that 10,000.
So that's what I wanted to do. Right now, I'm not averaging that myself, but
It's
that's
not
what
gonna
I
happen.
wanted to do
It's
to
not
make it.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, bro.
And that's why I said I don't know if it's worth it. That was my main question.
It's not gonna happen. You know why?
Why you say that?
Because the business has the cash flow. If you making 3 to 4 thousand, let's put you 3,500 a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You working on a 5-6 day a week contract. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say let's deal with labor first. What you think you're gonna have to pay a person a week?
How many? So average work week, 40 hours. We're
Nah, bro,
calculating
you
that
can't look at that like that, bro. This is final mile
from what I
delivery.
from what
from
I'm
what
doing
you?
final mile. So if we talking final mile, I'm gonna anticipate 50 to 60 hours because especially starting out, we're not gonna know how to do these deliveries. We're gonna probably make some mistakes. We're gonna have to struggle a little bit. So 50 to 60 hours a week. I want to give anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500. I want to say because that's average wages most people making out here.
Ooh, Charlie,
What was that?
that's a lot.
That's I mean, if you're
Cause, cause,
working a
cause,
lot,
cause hold on. Cause you gonna be on the truck, right?
absolutely,
And this is what you want to pay your helper, right?
absolutely,
So your helper gonna be on the passenger side. You gonna be driving, right?
yes, sir.
On a 5 day a week contract, you probably don't want to go over $1,000. Because if you pay him 1,500 and on 3,500 on an average is probably what you're gonna get starting off. Now you just left with $2,000. We ain't calculating your rental. We ain't calculating your fuel. You gonna make less than $1,000 take home, bro.
And that was my
And
question
we
of.
still gotta cash for the business. So even with paying him $1,000,
Mhm.
you still working with 2,500. You paying per the
Yes.
mile. You paying for the truck a week. You rent the truck. You paying for the insurance. You paying for the fuel.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I'm
and that's
saying?
why
So
that's why I question my main question was, is it even worth it or should I stick to my job? And like a lot of people don't want to come to that reality of, maybe I should have stick to the job. Maybe I should just take my ass to work and get it that way. But I kind of feel like I could maximize my opportunity in my brain a little bit if I was to jump into it, because I feel like I'll do the proper research. I'll make sure that I'm putting myself in position and analyzing everything to make sure everything goes smooth. And I can also give other people around me the opportunity to come make some money who might not have the opportunity
you
elsewhere. So
you you can do all the research you want, but based on what you told me, that don't even matter now because
Mhm,
you're looking to replace your wife's income and your income, right?
absolutely.
And you're
Yeah.
not gonna do that with one truck. If you're netting $10,000 a month, you're not gonna net that to your personal finances from
Mhm.
this. It's not gonna happen because you figure you're gonna average about 14 to 15,000 on the new gross.
Uh-huh.
All right. After labor, fuel, your rental, you paying what, 700 a week?
Yeah, and I see somebody try to say cap on the rental fee. I work at a
Hold on,
trucking
hold on.
company. I do.
Forget them, bro. You talking to Big Mark. So
Yeah.
700, 13 cents a mile.
Mhm.
You're not gonna take $1,000 home.
And that's what made me stop because I have my 10,000, and you have a lot of people jumping here with that 10,000, wanting to get into the business, and like I was about to go spend it on the
So
insurance,
so
get the
so
DOT.
so 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 based on everything you're telling me,
Uh-huh.
you're not gonna replace the revenue, the income that's coming into your household now. You're going to probably that shit probably gonna cut in half. You see what I'm saying?
And so I would
So
anticipate that within the first 6 months of operation. I'm
you only
looking
have
more
one,
so
sir,
like,
sir. You only have one truck, bro.
uh-huh.
You only got one truck.
Hmm.
One truck is one truck. So even if you go up to a route and you're making 4,000, you just increase your revenue by 500. Even if
Yeah.
you go up to 5,000, you're still not going to get what you're making now coming into your household. Your revenue increases, your route increases, so does your expenses. You're going further, you're spending more fuel, you're going to have to pay more in labor.
So my ideology for it is I jump into the truck for at least a year. I get to understand how the final mile deliveries go. I have one primary helper that I work with for that year span. I do as much work in, and I dedicate myself to this craft for that solid year, and I get an understanding of how the business works. Obviously, have my wife help with paperwork broken and all that other good stuff. Even dispatching if I needed it, but I probably wouldn't have to. But just updating the
What do
carrier
you
on
need? What do you
delivery
need?
stuff.
Why you need a dispatcher for, bro?
No,
You can
so
get good
like
stuff.
updating the carrier on deliveries. So like after every delivery, you probably have to confirm a delivery or have like some type of
That's what
logbook
they
that
got.
shows.
That's what they got apps for, big dog. They don't got to update nobody on
Exactly.
nothing. They
Yeah.
call
So
you
so
if they
that
need something. They'll call you, or you will call them when you done broke something. But for the
yeah.
most part, everything is technology now. Like, no, yeah, no.
Yeah. But me operating for at least a year,
You
and
can.
then
You got
after
one.
that
You got
year,
one truck, bro. You don't need all this extra. What are you talking, bro? Listen to me. Listen to me. See, you got. You come back down to reality. Come
hit
back
me
down
with
to
it.
reality. You got $10,000 coming into your household. You
Yeah.
got a newborn baby,
Hmm.
which means what?
More expenses.
All right then. So, do you want to continue to have this conversation? How old are you?
31.
So, if your expenses are going to increase,
Uh,
you should want your revenue to increase. You shouldn't want your
uh,
revenue to go backwards, bro. Like you can have all these dreams, and you welcome to go to some of these other guys, and they'll motivate you into doing it. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, a person that's coming to me with a newborn baby, who I know their household expenses are about to increase,
Hmm.
and I know that based off what you're telling me, she's not going to be making the money. She already makes less than you.
Hmm.
Your revenue needs to increase.
Yeah.
But coming in this, your revenue is probably going to decrease by half.
And see, that's the reality a lot of people don't see. If you go watch these YouTube channels, you go watch the box truck bros and the big Vics and, certain people out there like that. From my original understanding, when I started going down this journey, was that it'd be crazy money. I see people, I just seen box truck bros posted, he made 16,000 in a week off of 3 trucks. So it's like you would think in your head the money that I'm going to see jumping into this is going to be way more than what I have now, or it's going to be a
Man,
crazy amount. All of us
hey,
can
bro,
see that
like,
though.
hey, listen. If shit sound too good to be true, then I mean,
It's
I'm a
yeah,
little bit older than you, bro. I come from old school sayings. If something sound too good to be true, then it probably is, and I have yet to see that saying not be true. Like you gonna have some people that at the end of the day, my link always pinned to the top of the chat. I'm willing to debate anybody. Yeah, I've
hmm,
heard crazy profit margins. I want the smoke, but won't nobody bring it to me. I'm looking for the smoke, but won't nobody bring it to me. I'm denouncing half of the shit that most of the people is saying. Won't nobody bring me the smoke because it doesn't make sense, sir. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I've showed my taxes, bro.
yeah,
All right. I know what it's like to gross an M. I never grossed an M with 3 trucks. And majority of that money, a large portion of it went back into cost. It costs money to make money.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, what, these anomalies are. Because there was a guy running around here during during 2022 when I came saying he was making 10,000 in a 16-foot truck. But after research, it sounded good to all these people. I knew that wasn't true, but after research, it was a lot of illegal things going on. A lot of undertake. So here's the thing: if it's true, then it's not on the up and up. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. And
And
I
and when I say illegal, not like he was moving weight or nothing in it. It's just things that weren't the regulations that you have to follow. He wasn't following the regulations, right? So
yeah,
if the numbers are true, then it's a lot of illegal stuff going on, right?
yeah,
And if and but most time more cases than not is fabricated to get you to buy into something. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, listen, I've made a lot of money, right? And I've operated on small margins. You know what I'm saying? So I consider myself a smart individual. I consider myself a person uh, who understands the industry. Uh, and I look at things from both sides of the equation. The
Hmm.
industry, is the industry. People say, people throw little jabs. Oh well, man, this the new industry. Man, bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. This shit the same, bro. This shit the
Yeah.
same. The rates been the same, bro. And anybody that's been in trucking will tell. I know people that's been in trucking. They be like, man, Mark, I don't know what some of these people be talking about because I've been trucking for 20 years, and you ain't saying shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even with me showing it, people will still challenge it. You know what I'm saying? So
And what I can say to
what
speak on that, I ain't want to interrupt you, but the people that say the dream with these box trucks, and I think I kind of fell for the dream, and that's why watching your channel brought me back to reality, and I appreciate you for that. Some people might get offended, but every now and then in the world, there's always some type of get rich quick scheme. When COVID was coming around, everybody had the forex. Where people thought you could go do the forex. I don't know if you know about that. It was kind of
I
like
heard
a
about it.
younger.
I heard
Okay,
about
so
it.
it was one of those schemes where everybody started doing it, and it was supposed to be something to get rich real quick. You ain't got to work, you ain't got to do too much. And I see a lot of people, even with the box truck game, they feel like they could go get a contract, put somebody in a truck, make tens of thousands a month and stuff like that, and not have to do anything. And a lot of people get sold on a dream of how much profit is in the box truck business. And as somebody who, I have a CDL, I make fair money. Like I said, to me personally, my personal income is not life changing, especially when I've seen how good the rates were back in COVID time 21, 22. And I kind of want to get back to that. But for me, if I wanted
Bro,
to maximize,
get that out your head. You're
but
never
see,
gonna see that again. You're not gonna see that, bro.
I could boost my rates by going to winter areas or going to colder areas. If I went to a Minnesota or North Dakota, South Dakota, I could boost my wages just because they pay more out in that area in my field.
Bro, you're not gonna see that, sir. I don't
Oh,
care
I'm not
where
gonna
you
see that
go.
for sure.
You're not gonna see it. So
Yeah, that
the rates that people were getting that were high to you elsewhere, they were even higher here then. They're always gonna be higher here.
no for sure, for sure. But I'm just saying,
So,
off a personal scale or a gauge of like how much you're profiting per week, I'm at 13 to 16 here in Florida. From my field, food service delivery, Cisco's and the Sigmas, the McLean's, the QCDs, they average closer to 2,000 in the winter market, especially around this time of the year when it's cold.
my
So
homies, my homies here are making double what you making locally, and they not
yeah,
in food service. They doing intermodal. They doing
uh,
2,500, 3,000 a week.
yeah.
No
I don't know
cap.
what intermodal is though.
You a CDL trucker and you don't know what intermodal is?
Yeah, I don't know. You hear that? You tweaking? Man, I'm food service. My whole time I've been food service, man. That's all I do. I'm not an OTR guy, bruh. So I don't know what that is, man.
Who says it would have to be OTR? If I said they here local and they doing intermodal doesn't have to be OTR. It's not contained to. I mean, so you don't know the different lanes of logistics as far as trucking is concerned.
I know
But
OTR
but
and
but you
well, I
hold
mean,
on.
I
But
know,
you wanna be a business guy in logistics.
absolutely. I'm
So you
educating
need to.
myself right now. I don't. That must not be too common.
So 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 freight being moved on the rails ain't common,
Okay, okay. I see. Okay, that's what
bro.
it is.
Bro. Stop. Just stop talking. Because the more you talk, the crazy you go. Say,
Oh,
wait,
like why would I? Like
they
why would
put
I
they
know
put they
that?
put they put more stuff on the rails now.
Yeah.
They put more on the rails now. How is it not common?
I wouldn't know that. Like, why would I know that?
Why wouldn't you?
All I do is food service. That's all I know. That's all I've ever done.
But you want to be a logistics business owner.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking into, working with
Hey
the
dude,
railroads.
hey dude, hey dude, hey dude, hey dude. So y'all finna turn me up. Man, just get a man the information, yo. Hey, bro, check it out. Link pin to the top of the chat. The way I do things over here is how I do them. The way I do things over here is how I do them. Link pin to the top of the chat.
The Google definition says involving two or more different modes of transportation and conveying goods for the chat out there. 'Cause I
Listen,
didn't
bro.
know.
Check this out. Check this out. And for any,
Yeah.
listen. What was we talking about? Because I didn't got
And so
side.
you were talking about just weekly wages. So I was talking about if I wanted to maximize my wages, I would go to a colder area. I would go to a Colorado's or a Minnesota, South Dakota's, because around there they're averaging 2+ a week. And then you said you got buddies in Chicago doing intermodal, getting
I'm in
25 to 30.
Chicago. I'm in Chicago, born and raised.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you saying? You finna
Even
move
car
up? You
hauling.
said you finna move to the crib? You telling me you finna move up here to the crib?
Oh, nah, I'm talking about winter area. I'm saying I could make what I want to make doing the same job in those areas if I was to just relocate over there. So I'm
But you
saying
ain't
if I
coming up
wanted
here.
to
You
maximize,
ain't coming up here, big dog. You ain't coming up here. You from Florida. You was born and raised in Florida?
nah. So I'm military baby. I done been all over.
Oh,
I ain't
okay.
really, yeah, I ain't really grew up in one little area. I've been in Colorado for the most part though. Really, Colorado in
Okay.
the house, man. Colorado Springs.
All right. All right. So, bro, I mean, shit, here's the thing. Based on what you told me, bro, I mean, decision up to you. You can do what you want to do. But I'm
Well,
a,
no, I'm
I'm just not gonna like if you were my brother, if you were my
mhm.
little brother, and the same situation, I'm gonna tell you what I would tell my little brother. I would say, man, stay at your job. It's a little bit provides a little bit more um
Stability.
stability, right? Right now may not be the time with the baby being born. You don't want to get into something that is more uncertain. You at least for the time being, let the baby be born. You do what you want to do. I don't know you. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what I would tell my brother, or I would tell one of my homies. You did if they came to me for advice. You could do what you want to do. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Based off the income that's coming into your household right now, you're not gonna make that money, bro. You're not gonna
And
make
I
it, bro.
respect that. And I feel like more people need to hear that because like I was saying earlier with the Forex and the different get rich quick schemes, a lot of people have it in their head. I got buddies who are running box truck businesses who just started that are trying to hire me and say that they could promise me 350, 400 a day. And I'm like, bro, there's no way that you could promise me that. And so it's just like for me, actually going to do the research and not just jumping the gun on something and trying to like go out there and not work for myself or not work in general. I'm doing the research and kind of realizing that yeah, I might not make more. I might not make what I think I'm gonna make out here on the box truck, and that's okay. I'm not offended by you telling me to keep my job. We gotta work. Either way, I'm gonna work. If it was on the box truck or if it's for this company, I gotta go to work. Either way, it would have been nice if I could have got on the box truck and made a crazy amount of money and been able
What do
to
you think is a crazy? What did you
at
think you was
that
gonna
10 a
make?
month. That 10 a month. If I could have made the same what I'm making right now without my wife working, I would have jumped in and did it. But without it really looking like I'll be able to make what me and my wife is making right now, jumping into the box truck, I won't do it. 'Cause I got stability. I don't go into the red. Every month when I get my little paychecks, ain't never no money coming out of there. So that's kind of like you said, the stability that I want. If I was to go get into a box truck, it would have to be for it to be profitable, especially with me dropping this ten
Now
thousand that I got, and that's
you
the
can
only
make
little 10 that I
see you. So that's your 10. You got 10 for an investment. Is basically what you're
I got
saying.
10 for the investment.
And see, that's the thing. You can make more than that 10 that you want, but you're not gonna make it with one truck. So I'm not saying that you can't make it. I'm saying you're gonna have to scale to get to that 10 and surpass that 10 because you're gonna have to need enough vehicles, right? Operating in volume to produce that revenue that you want to replace, right? Because you're gonna have to pay yourself enough, and you're not gonna
Yeah.
be able to generate that type of revenue with one vehicle. So
But
that's what I'm saying. So
and one thing I'm scared of with that, because I talked to a couple of people who, like one of my Penske guys, he was running his own business and he scaled pretty quick. And when he scaled quick, he had a bunch of drivers that made mistakes. It shot his insurance rate up when they made the mistakes. Then he pretty much got took out of business because his insurance policy was so high, it pretty much was gonna make the business not profitable or barely profitable.
but I
So
talk
even
about
with
that
doing
all the
that,
time. I talk about that all the time. I tell people to, you know, take things slow, grass rooted,
hmm
bootstrap. I tell people that. I also tell people to, that training, you have to be knowledgeable in order for you to be able to train others. If you don't have
hmm
a full scope on this industry and the business, then the people you hire, they're just going to be a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So, at the end of the day, so yeah, a lot of people scale. Listen, I see it. One thing of being a content creator, people bring me their business all the time. So,
yeah.
whether it's up here or whether it's in person, whether it's in the Discord, like, in order to get my advice, you gotta be transparent with me. And most people that come up here and they try to sugarcoat the shit, I always be like, shit don't make sense. And they gotta open all the way up, pause. Anyway, but it's gonna take time, bro. This shit ain't gonna happen overnight. It ain't gonna happen in a year. So, that's something that you gotta think about. If you're willing to take that risk, then so be it. But you gotta make sure you got enough money to withstand the time period until the business is in the 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 takeoff phase of the 5 phases of growth when you growing a business. You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
that's why I could
if
the benefit of doing it when I had the baby. I get maternity leave, so I can have my job on the back burner and know that I have that in my back pocket. If I was to go out there and mess my money up and end up in a pickle, I know that I could run back to it. Because I don't know if somebody in the chat know how long you get on maternity leave, where they got to hold your job for you. I planned on jumping into it when that was going on. And I got my 10. I got my backup to fall back on, so I know if
okay, so
things
so
can
so
go
so
right.
here's the thing. You still gonna walk away from more money for less. And at the end of that tenure, you're still gonna be making less money.
Yeah, I have
So
a co-
I mean,
I have a coworker. Speaking of, I have a coworker. He just left. He got a box truck, 26 footer. He got it from an auction. He got it for 10.5. Box truck broke down, leaking fluids. He looking at 2,200 to repair that leaking fluid. He's trying to get contracts, but new authority, he's pretty much not finding anything. He's looking to go OTR, but all the brokers he's calling ain't returning his call. He got one job. Didn't pay, obviously enough to even cover to expenses, and now he kind of stuck trying to run for other people authority. And he was, he was right here with me making the same thing. I see him jump out, do the box truck thing, and he a little bit stressed out right now. And he spent all that money on the box. He 10 deep on the box. He had to pay 3,500 down on the insurance. Then it's 14 a month for the insurance. So I don't even know how much he down, but he almost down the dub and ain't making nothing. And I see my coworker do that. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to just spend money and be looking stupid and be looking around like how I get it back. That's not smart.
well, tell him to find a content creator that he was watching that put him in that situation. He need to go
So
find them and
funny
tell him to
enough,
run that money back.
he found me, and he's my coworker. I don't really like conversate with people that I work with on social media. I was posted on Box Truck Bros 2 days ago because I ran onto them at the mall, at the Florida Mall. I was on the route. I ran into them, asked them the same question. They posted me on their Instagram. My ex coworker found me on there, and then kind of came to me, told me his spiel and all that. But he watching them. And they got him gassed up thinking he was finna jump out there and win, and it was sweet out here. Hit the you tweaking. It
Oh, you
ain't
want to
happen
hit it?
like
You tweaking.
yeah.
Hey, bro,
It ain't happen like
listen.
that.
It ain't sweet.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Anybody that think listen. I don't care what you do. Anything that you think is sweet is not going to be sweet easy.
Mm-hmm.
It gets greater later. It don't get great at the jump, bro. You see these grays? You see
Yeah.
these grays in there? Bro, I
Stretchy.
wasn't. I wasn't, see how comfortable I sit up and I talk shit and shit like that. During them early years when I was 30, 31, 32, I was getting to a bag of money, but I was working. I was
Yeah.
working. I was working. I wasn't sitting here then.
And
You see what I'm saying?
I feel like
People
that's
want
my
people want to sit here at the beginning.
mm-hmm.
By the time you're able to sit here, it's going to be years and you're going to have these. See, everybody
And
want to ball out instantaneously. I'm not out here doing that. I did that for a long time, for years, over a decade.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So hold on. Let me get it off. You froze up, big dog. You got it. You see what I'm saying, right? You. How you gonna freeze up when I got ready to talk my shit? Damn, bro, you done messed up my. I was finna go, boy. You done froze up on me and ruined it, bro. God damn. You done messed up my little moment. I was finna cook too, boy. Ooh, I was finna cook. You done froze up again. God damn. God damn. You messed my little moment. That was my moment. You know, I'll be waiting for my moment. You know, I'll be waiting for my moment. You know, I put it in right when it's time too. I don't do it prematurely. I always put it in. I'll be waiting for it though. I'll be waiting for it. He gonna call back. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He gonna call back. Let me see. Shout out to Shordora. Is it Shordora? Shordoro McDonald. What's going on? Appreciate that. Alex said, way to talk him off the ledge, man. Listen. Bro, I don't know, bro. But as y'all see, man, week after week after week after week, you know, everybody want to leave their job and they, you know, I don't know why people think box trucking is like the instant way to the millions. And what makes you think it's gonna happen with one truck, bro? Like y'all think y'all gonna make tens of thousands of dollars with one truck, bro? Not happening. Not happening, bro. And we talking different gross, net, business cash flow. Pay yourself. You're not finna pay yourself and you still got to cash flow the business. Like, bro, this is what I'm saying. People need to go take lessons in business. People really need to understand what they're investing in before y'all come spend that little, like he said, he called his 10 little. He said, man, this is the only 10 I got. See, he was finna jump out here with the 10 and that was finna be gone. And then it was going to be sad face emoji. You see what I'm saying? But Mark, you too harsh. You're a dream crusher. You know, like, I don't know what type of world we living in that when you tell people the truth and you get them sound advice, strangers you don't know, you're deemed the harsh guy. This shit is crazy, bro. Like, man, this shit don't even make sense. Like, I don't get what the fascination is and why so many people is misled. Stop being middle Americans. I only see this shit happen with middle Americans, bro. People from middle America, these little small markets, these little small towns that are naive, bro. Stop being so goddamn naive. Stop being so naive, bro. If this shit sound too good to be true, then it is. The revenue comes into the business. All right? That revenue that comes into the business is not what you keep. There's expenses that go out. It takes money to make money. In this industry, it takes a lot of money to make a lot of money. The more money you make, the more it's going to cost you. This is what it is. You're dealing with parties in between. You're not even dealing directly with the source to increase your profit margin. Your expenses are high. So where are people thinking they're going to make life change? Like he said, I'm using his words, life-changing money. He's just one of the first people to actually say it verbatim, life-changing money. with a box truck. Where? How? How, Sway? I got to get the how, Sway button. How? If it was so life changing, there wouldn't be 82 people in here. The last thing you would be thinking about is Mark and what Mark got to talk about. You be somewhere in your Rolls Royce, in your Bentley, the W12. You would be somewhere in your McLaren 720. You wouldn't be sitting up here. Mark wouldn't be able to get 100 people between Facebook and YouTube watching him for information to succeed. You'll be out enjoying your Saturday. You'll be at Nobu somewhere. You'll be kicking it. Where's this common sense at? If the life-changing money was so life-changing, the people that's telling you it's life-changing, why are they here in a box truck? If the money was so great, why are your favorite people where does common sense come in at? Where does it come in at? When do we get back to a society where people actually take in information, consume it, let it sit for a minute, and dissect it? The first thing I'm gonna look at is somebody's telling me I can make a gazillion dollars if I go get a box truck. Is the presentation. Does the presentation coincide with the information that's being told to me? I started doing my research. Started doing me a deep dive analysis. I'm not finna let nobody send me up no river. I'm from the crib. Mm-mm. No, we don't get misled and all this type of shit. That shit is for naive middle Americans. I'm gonna take people's information. I'm gonna go dissect it. Shit don't make no sense. Nah, bro. If it was this sweet, why the hell is you still on the box truck? If I can make $1 million and you telling me I can make $1 million with a box truck and I'm gonna be rich and wealthy, why are the people that's telling me they're still driving? The internet was probably one of the worst things. No, not the internet. Social media, one of the worst things for people. It took away people's ability to make decisions for themselves. People make decisions based off what they see now and what they hear. No one takes the time to just comprehend stuff and just let it sit and then do the research to see if it makes sense. If everybody was making so much money. Why are so many people struggling? Why are so many people fail? Now that doesn't mean it's a bad industry, like the young whoever that was earlier said. But the same level of ignorance that you see from the early research stages, right? It's that same level of ignorance once the people invest their money and they still fail to go do what's in their best interest. I tell a person, don't start with a new truck. Yes, they're going to tell you you're not going to get any brokers, and then I'm going to tell you, yeah, some people aren't going to mess with you, but then some people are. But the main reason why is because it's going to be harder for you to compete in the current market, and you need to make sure your operational costs are low. You still go out and do it. Then you come complaining and crying to me because more of them told you this was the right thing to do. And then they tell you, oh, experience don't matter. Or I'm old and this ain't the new way. No, the way is the same, bro. The way is the same. Listen, I've challenged anybody. Show me. Show me how you can make more money in an industry where the margins are low with a higher operating cost than a person with a lower one. They get mad when I say, oh. And when I say they, it's a bunch of they. It's a bunch of they. Don't limit it. Don't think I'm thinking about one individual. One guy, he hates me. He don't even hate me for the information. He just hate me because he's jealous of me. He hate me because he's jealous of me. And I met him. He saw how Big Mark do it in the shot. Ooh, that spirit of ecstasy. Ooh. We saw them shooting stars. Woo. If you know, you know. What's known don't need to be explained. Shooting stars was looking good in the roof when Big Mark pulled up. Man, where you at? Man, I'm sitting right in front of you. Woo. I ran into some scout on the expressway. It's like, Mark. What's known don't need to be explained. Miss Big Mark already been validated out here. Oh, that's Big Mark. Favorite content creator hate because he saw like, I saw it. Yeah, I tell you. That's check it out. And guess what? That shit didn't happen the first year. None of that shit happened the first year. All the people that come, Mark, I'm in the city. All right, where you at? All right, meet me here. Don't worry about it, man. Keep your money. See, these are lifestyles that they've been portrayed, but guess what? They want it to happen that first year. That shit ain't gonna happen that first year. He always in the house. Whew. Yeah, I am. But guess what? I wasn't always in the house the first year, or the second year, or the third year, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth, or the seventh, or the eighth, or the ninth, or the 10th, or the 11th, or the 12th, or the 13th. I never saw this place as much as I've seen it in the past 2 years. I never saw it. I literally just slept here. Never got a chance to enjoy it. I've enjoyed this place the past 2 years out of the past 10. Was never here. This is like a place to just sleep. Beautiful place. Never got a chance to enjoy it. So Big Mark always kept it a buck with people. Even when I first came on YouTube and I was challenged, still kept it a buck. Even the people who hate me, they always say, well, as far as him, don't like him, but met him. He the real deal. Y'all heard it. So why people still want to negate the information? Even my harshest critic, as far as the trucking and the success, has been validated in the flesh. I'm telling you it's not easy because it's not easy. I'm telling you the margins are small because they small. I'm telling the lifestyle that you're expecting to live with one truck is not possible. I'm telling you what you need to do to get it. I'm asking you, are you going to make the sacrifices to get there? I've done everything to prove to you, even things that I didn't want to do. I never wanted to show nobody my journey. I never wanted to show nobody my trucks. You think I wanted to show you my taxes? I've met people. I pulled up on people. People have run into me. I'm in a big city. Shit, I got a big platform. People run into me all the time. It'd be different if I was in middle America somewhere, like a lot of your favorite people are. They can. I'm in a big city, so at the end of the day, the choice is yours, man. You know, life changing money, like he said, that so many people think. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. You can get to life changing money. It's going to take some years. It's going to take some experience. It's going to take some growth, right? You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to delay. You're going to have to sacrifice, right? And depending on your situation, that's going to determine what you can sacrifice or if you can delay. His particular situation, and I don't know, I guess he got another phone call, but the link is still pinned to the top of the chat. I would like to continue to have the conversation with the young brother. He got something coming up that, like I said, if he were my little brother in this situation, I would advise him against it. When I'm measuring the two, in that situation, I would much rather I'm not going to send him down a road of uncertainty. I would much rather my younger brother, if that was the case, and my, let's say, niece or nephew to be, to have more stability. So I don't know, man. Somebody else called up while I was cooking with him. I think his name was James. You're free to call up now. I'll take your call, and if the young man wants to call back up, whoever James was that was in the back, you can call. I'll take the young man's call, and then after that, I'm going to go ahead and go to the gym. All right, got to get my workout in. Saturday, might step out tonight. I might step out tonight, man. I'm feeling good today. It's my homie birthday weekend. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call my girl. I'm gonna call my homie. Everything on me tonight. It's my homie birthday. Go to the gym, get a good pump in, so I can my shoulders and my chest can fill out my shirt a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and step out tonight. So I'm gonna take a few more. You know what I'm saying? I hope he takes. I feel that you being straight up and honest is what's needed. Doing so definitely helps someone to stop, think, and understand things before making a rash decision. Some are just stubborn. A lot of people are stubborn. One thing I learned that I don't want to say it used to bother me when I first got on YouTube, because I don't think it bothered me. I thought it did. It's just I didn't understand. Um, is why, because to me stuff makes sense, and I would just didn't understand why certain things that just to me were clear cut, just ignorance. People are more drawn to just ignorance and just things that don't make sense than the stuff that does. And I don't know, but I think I just didn't understand it. But it is what it is. You live and you learn, you grow. I think part of growing is learning. So sometimes you gotta make the mistakes. Sometimes you gotta make the mistakes, even if it's due to ignorance to realize not to be ignorant. So it is what it is. All right, so we waiting on James and we waiting on my hater just entered the building. Shout out to my hater. My hater just entered the building. Let's give my hater a round of applause, y'all. My hater has entered the building. So shout out to my hater. Who else we got? Some people just don't like it, bro. Some people just don't like it. They said people don't like the truth. Like I said, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't force him to drink it. Can't force him to drink it. I'm gonna make my hater mad right here. Watch this. We need people not to drink the water. Watch this. Watch this. We need people to do the things that we don't want to do ourselves. You see what I'm saying? I need you to bag my groceries. I need you to wash my cars. I need you to do these things. All right. We're going to continue to do the things that we don't want to do because we know how to bring in revenue, so we can pay you to do the things that we don't want to do for ourselves. Right? I need people to I'm trying to think. It's I'm a guy who I'll do things, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of things that I just don't want to do anymore, bro. I don't want to offend anybody either, so I used to do the what you call it, but a lot of people do that, so I don't want to offend anybody. I had that was one of my little things that I used to do. But just things, man, So, people listen. Not everybody can make it, bro. Not everybody can make it. They said we need bots. Here's the thing, that may be that may happen. Well, we already got robots. We got some industry that have robots. Amazon deals with robots already. They have some automated facilities. Not, people think robots, they think like the Elon Musk robot thing, whatever it's called, the Optimus. No, it's other type of robots. You got some fast food restaurants that got robotic arms flipping burgers and things like that. So the more robots that come into different industries, the more jobs that are going to be replaced. More jobs that'll be replaced, the less opportunities that there are, and the more complaining that you'll see. If people don't see what's going on, then so be it. But we need people not to. That's why I always say, not everybody can be the big dog. We need some people to do things that we don't want to do. If everybody succeeded at business, then who would be the drivers? Who would be the helpers? Not everybody gonna win. You would think just with knowing that, more people would do what's in their best interest. But they don't. You know, people always invest into things that they don't understand. So look at during the pandemic, you had a lot of people invest in the crypto. You had a lot of people invest into stock, forex, like he talked about. I just started hearing about forex during the pandemic. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I never looked into it. So guess what? With me not having an understanding of forex, I'm not going to invest my money into it, even though a multitude of people say, "Oh, you can do this, you can do that." Unless I look into it, I'm not going to invest my money in it. People was investing into these flower things during the pandemic. I'm not putting my money into that. I only invest into things that I understand. But yet still so many people got wrecked because they believed that people were making money because people saying, "Oh, I put my money in this flower and I made this much," and they did it and they didn't make nothing. Or people bought into crypto without an understanding of what it is. Or people followed the trend and bought into stock when that was really at and going through a boom phase, not understanding that the reason why the stock market is inflated, they didn't even realize inflated is because of all the free money and people were just gambling. You're investing into overvalued companies. These companies ain't even worth this type of money. We're in a period of an anomaly period as far as the stock market is, as far as the stock market was at that particular time. Those companies wasn't worth the valuations that they were getting. They weren't. But yet still people put their money in there and got wrecked. Same thing with the trucking industry. And people continue to do it. So it is what it is, man. Don't make me no never mind. Do what you want to do. Like it, don't like it. Shit ain't gonna stop what I got going on. Drive on trucks to deliver goods or homes is one thing I know you don't want to do. Wait, hold on. What is he talking about? Is he somebody that I need to drop the link for? Is this somebody that I need to drop the link for? Hold on, let me see. Before you gotta. What is he talking about? Drive box trucks to deliver or goods to our homes is one thing I know you don't want to do. What do you mean deliver goods to your home? It's not something you talking about I don't want to do? Drive box trucks to deliver or goods to our home is one thing I know you don't want to do. Is you talking about me personally? Or are you saying people in general that want to get into the box truck? Dang. No, Mark, I'm talking about people, bro. I come across people that they just straight bots. Oh, you saying some people operate like robots. They got self-driving semis in test markets like Texas and Arizona already. Rich, you said we need people to do time-consuming tasks and errands we have to run to allow us to be able to focus on more important tasks to keep us more productive. Time is money. So you saying like gig stuff, right? Mark, we need to talk about Amazon Relay. I have 8 days left to start using the app. Well, as far as Amazon Relay, as far as strategy, I don't talk about strategy. Never talk about Amazon Relay strategy. I talk about Amazon Relay from a business perspective, and people don't even like when I do that. But I tell them I can talk about Amazon from a business perspective. Why? Because I'm an investor in Amazon, right? As far as strategy, I can't give you a strategy for Amazon Relay. I would advise you to join my Discord and go into the Amazon Relay channel and talk to the people who run Amazon Relay, and they can help you as far as strategy. Now, if you want to talk about Amazon from a business perspective, then we can talk about it. He said when it's stuff that I don't want to do no more, well, it's not the fact that I don't want to do them, it's the fact that I don't have to do them. See, that's the difference. If I had to do it, I would do it. Listen, I'll shovel shit, all right, if it was profitable enough and I needed to do it. Even if I hated doing it, because here's the thing. After I get off this live, I'm going to the gym. I go to the gym 5-6 days a week. I hate going to the gym. I don't like it, but I go every day. Why? Because I'm not getting younger, I'm getting older. So I need to stretch, right? I need to stay in shape. Why? Because health is wealth. Health is wealth. So even though I don't like doing it, I got to do it. You think the first 3 years when I was on the truck, I got pleasure out of doing it? The pleasure came from the revenue, the actual act. I didn't enjoy doing that. I didn't enjoy that. In the pandemic, when I was forced to get back out in the field, I didn't enjoy that. I enjoyed it less then. Why? Because I was 10 years older. So the 30-year-old person and the 40-year-old person, you're talking about two different people. Me, I understand, and this is something that we've talked about. I think I didn't talk about this. I didn't do this lecture on the channel. I think I had this lecture in my Discord. I think one of the benefits from coming from a large market is the fact that you can't be lazy. You got to get out here and get it because the cost of living is so high. And if the more comfortable you want to live, the more you got to get out here and get it. And just for me doing content and talking to people, I notice a difference. When I talk to people who live in New York, when I talk to people who live in Philadelphia, when I talk to people who live in Chicago, when I talk to people who live in LA, their mindset is different than people that live in. I talked to a guy who was in some city in Virginia. I forget the town. Virginia, it was a small town outside of DC. I talked to people who live in, there was a guy who came up who lived in Mississippi. I talked to a guy recently who was from Georgia, like somewhere in Georgia, South Carolina. The mindset is different. I'll do something that I don't want to do. I'm not going to turn nothing down because I feel like, yo, I'm tired of working for this person. I want to do something for myself, bro. I will do some. I did shit for years that I didn't want to do. The physical aspect of it. Why? If the money is good, I'm going to do it. I'm going to block out all that shit that a lot of people think about now and this new society, this new age way of thinking, man. I'll shovel shit if it's paying enough. If I can run up a bag, I'll do it. If I can run up a bigger bag because you don't want to do it and they're going to pay me more to do it and I had to go do it, I'd do it. You do shit that you may not enjoy doing to get you to a place where you don't have to do it. One of the main purposes of starting a business and running it effectively and efficiently is to buy your time back. You said I missed out on a lot. I definitely missed out on a lot. Some of the shit that I missed out on, like one of your favorite content creators, well, he ain't y'all favorite content. Don't nobody really like him. That's why his channel don't grow. Makes fun of me because of it. Put your bag up. That's the price of business. It's the price of getting to where you want. Sacrifice. That's it. Some people going to sacrifice some things. Some people going to sacrifice others. It is what it is. At the end of the day, if I had to do it all over again, you better believe I'm going to do it. Right? Because in hindsight, when I look at things, if I would have did things differently, you know, probably wouldn't be in this position. So I thank God that I followed the blueprint that I set out for myself, and I didn't allow anything to derail what my plan and what my goals were. Oh, it is what it is. Sacrifice is sacrifice. So, it is what it is. Oh, it is what it is. Sometimes you need to do what you need to do to have to wait. You said my favorite saying is sometimes you have to do what you need to do to get to where you want or need to be in life. Yeah. And I'm just saying from me meeting people in this industry, from different places, I just see the attitude different from people from larger markets or smaller markets. People from larger markets just seem hungrier. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you because I've been paying attention to even create this comparison. People from larger markets just seem like hungrier. So that's why I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no choice. Didn't have a choice. That level of complacency, you can't really have that in my market. You know what I'm saying? Like when I talk to like one of them person say, oh well, my mortgage is $600, and then that's why you have that less hungerness because basic cost of living and basic necessity, you don't really have to really go out and really get it to just even live. Like, bro, like you gotta really get it to just even live in a lot of places. $600 mortgage. This is why you just want this laxy daisy and shit like that, bro. Motherfuckers is paying $3,000-$4,000 for one bedrooms here. So New York 4,000-5,000. So that's why that grind and that hunger is a little bit different. But guess what? You're gonna have people that you competing against, and based on their I was gonna say geographical setting, but based on their whatever's driving them as far as their cost of living to do what's in their best interest, so that they can pay themselves enough to sustain, even if it's the basic in their market. You talking about a person who coming from it's an animal that you finna go up against. So Doc Intelligence says cost of living is crazy, especially if you have family. Cost of living is crazy. So that's why when like the gentleman who came up here earlier was, going through everything, he was going through and I assessed it, yeah. I'm giving him the truth. Like I'm not finna send nobody up the river. For what? Just because I'm a box truck content creator, if it don't make sense at the particular time, I'm not gonna do it. Tell him, give him, advise him in that direction if it's not making sense to at the part. Not saying it won't never, but at this particular time, if it don't make sense, I'm telling him what I would or wouldn't do. You could do what you want to do, but Mark, hey Mark, would you define success? Success is a level of comfortability. Um, you know, um, Everybody's measure on success is going to be different. Um, I think what most people look at success is big house, big crib, fancy cars, uh, Instagram models. Um, but success could be covering the basic essentials in life because a lot of people ain't even able to cover that. If you found something that you can sustain and it can keep food, clothing, and shelter, then I think that's success. You know, so it all depends on the individual. Success is going to be measured different from each individual. The way I look at success is food, clothing, and shelter. If I can successfully maintain food, clothing, and shelter, then I feel like I'm successful in doing whatever it is I'm doing at the bare minimum. I'm thankful and I thank God for that. Now, anything above uh, um, the basic essentials, right? Food, clothing, and shelter is just a bonus. So if I got, let's say, a car, it may not be the fanciest car, but it starts in the wintertime, the heat comes on and it gets me from point A to point B. That's a blessing. Now, anything above that is just a bonus. That's how I measure success. You know what I'm saying? So some people may measure it a little bit different. I know when I get up here and I talk my box truck stuff, it may seem cocky and stuff, but anybody that knows me, I'm a very humble person. You know what I'm saying? So I just measure success on um, maintaining the basics. So most people define success as having a lot of money. Yeah, that's most people, but um, money brings resources. All right, so the more money you have, I think it brings you more resources. But me, it doesn't. I don't think that defines success. You know what I'm saying? So I think success is if you can figure out a way, especially in today's times, just to provide the basic essentials for yourself: food, clothing, and shelter. I think you're successful. I think anything above basics is just a bonus. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's going to measure it differently. So, it is what it is. My definition of success is being closer to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, because you come into this world with nothing. You're going to leave with nothing, just simple faith over everything. I can agree with that as well. That's why I say I always put God first. I say God, business, and then everything else. Some people disagree with my girl disagree with that. Every time she say it, if I'm sitting here doing a live stream and she hear me say it, she say something to me. But she's not an entrepreneur, so she wouldn't understand what it takes to be an entrepreneur. She doesn't understand the level of sacrifice. And during my earlier days of building, I wasn't with her, so she didn't see it. She sees the now. She's 3 years, the past 3.5 years. She saw after the blood, the sweat, and the tears. The ones that were around during that time period, they witnessed it. They lived through it. They were the ones that were neglected. You see what I'm saying? So, but I put God first because without God, none of it would be possible. And then right after God, then I put the business and then everything else, because without putting my time that God has given me, because he woke me up into the business, I wouldn't be able to do none of the stuff that I can do for whoever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, God is even the direction of me even getting into this business. Like I never had this wasn't something I ever wanted to do. God placed me here. Like literally, I was fucked up. I was saw somebody put an ad. I was literally on Craigslist to post my CD burner. I had a 7-drawer CD burner, and I was gonna sell it to make some money. And I saw an ad, and a light bulb popped in my head, and I literally plagiarized that person's ad. Listen, if I knew who that person was today, I swear I would do something for him. Take him out to dinner, you know, give him some money. You know, I literally copied and pasted it and just changed the name and the phone number. I plagiarized the hell out of that ad, and that set everything off. That wasn't me. That wasn't number God. So yeah, like you said, that's why I put God first. I put God first for anything. So yeah. Let me take a few more questions. I don't think they're gonna hit the link no more. J. Cole says content has been on point, Mark. This is only bettering those who take what said and applies it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, so I try to, and even with, challenge and stuff like that, it only makes me better, because I can, like I said, substantiate and I can articulate everything I say, and I can, if it's things that are data driven, I can cite those sources. At the end of the day, even still, it's up to individuals to take the information they consume from wherever and, fact check and apply it. There may come a time if you're consuming information from a person over a period of time and you're constantly fact checking and shit like that, and over a period of time, everything pans out to the point where you can just take that person at their word. But that takes years, and it takes time to be able to trust someone, just like that without having to go back and, fact check things. So I appreciate you. I'm just jumping all over the place. I don't really look at comments much, so today I'm just going to take a little time to look at the comments. I think success is working hard, sacrificing, investing, live off the investment from residual income. Yeah, so like I said, everybody's going to have, shout out to Barbara Lee, everybody's going to have their own, they're going to measure success differently. What are your thoughts on being leased on to somebody else's authority? This is for Box Truck over there. A lot of people are having to do it now because the level of trust the level of trust between new authorities and brokers is just not there. So people lease on to more mature authorities to be able to get work. If that's something that you need to do, right, so that you can get your truck rolling, I don't see nothing wrong with that temporarily. But as your authority ages, I would transition out of leasing on to running under my own authority. But if that's something you got to do initially to get things going, I should say, then I don't see nothing wrong with it at the beginning. We'll look at a few more of these. I just turned 22 not long ago, and I'm finna drive my box truck for the next 1.5 to 2 years. Sacrifice my time so I can be in a better position later on in life. That's good. Right? You don't want to be older trying to figure out your way. You talked to Dizzy. Where is he from? I think Dizzy is from Georgia. He's from Atlanta. That's why I said he making Atlanta look bad that day, because he from a larger market. So you were talking about things you did 14 years ago versus now. You laid the foundation for where you are now. Missed out on a lot. Yeah, I think I answered that, right? Yes, sir. Gig stuff and mundane tasks that take a lot of time that can be focused on work production. At Mark. Here's the thing. I had to skit when I used to use the gig people. I used to say people we need you to deliver our DoorDash and things like that. But I stopped doing that because I realized a lot of people do that to supplement income, and I would say that I meant it, but I would say it more for theatrics, and that's why I stopped saying it. I like to go do my own grocery shopping. I've only done Instacart one time, and that was maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I was sick and I just didn't want to leave the crib. I ordered some soup and some orange juice or something. Um, but I don't, I really don't. I food service, I utilize them there. But yeah, I get why people do it to supplement income. Uh, but I like to find time to go do my own grocery shopping because I want to pick my own tomatoes. I want to pick my own bell peppers. I want to pick my own, red onions and things of that. I don't really trust people with that. So I just think certain things people task people to do off gig apps, they're lazy. For a period of time, I was hiring maid service to come in here and clean up. And this year I stopped. One of the main reasons I stopped is because one, um, they just didn't do the job the way I really wanted it to do. I didn't like the products, and I just never felt that they were doing it as good as I do it. I feel like each person I tried, I would hire people off of Thumbtack. I just felt like it was a rush job. So I get why people outsource people to do things, but me, I'm a type of person where it does free up time, but I'm a OCD type of person. I just like certain things. So I don't really particularly use a lot of the gig stuff because, like I said, I like to do my own grocery shopping because I like to pick my own fruit and like to pick my own vegetables. Um, and even with the cleaning service, like it's just certain things that I like done that they don't do. But I get why people do it because that gives them time to do other things. So in that aspect, yeah, I do understand uh, the point of it. Where are we at? What I seen one more. You talking about Tesla semis? Cam said, Mark, keep up the long form content. You're the only one doing it. It helps make my long drives feel shorter. Yeah, I cut my live down to about an hour because I see the watch time is better. Like, people got a short attention span now. There are people that'll watch if I go 2 or like the other day we went 5.5 hours when Dizzy came up for those debates. And, I can measure a person goes long because they would have never saw those debates because those were later into the stream. Uh, so and I know that there's people that drive at night or drive during the day who would just put Big Mark on and just put Big Mark on the Bluetooth and just drive. You're gonna get the education, you're gonna get the entertainment, and I appreciate those people. But I do try to, you know, I understand like the attention span is just short nowadays. So I try to work with the people who do got the short attention spans, and every now and then again, like a day like today where I'm just, I'll just kick it with you guys for an hour because I missed yesterday. Um, and I feel kind of bad for missing yesterday because I was in a debate about Michael Jordan versus LeBron, and I just couldn't stop that debate, man. I could not stop that debate, so I feel kind of bad. So I'm just going to kick it. I decided to kick it a little bit longer uh, today to kind of make up for yesterday. That's all. How do I feel about work-life balance when trying to hit a goal? I'm currently working 7 days a week between driving trucks and running a salon. I take off a day when nobody and body exhaustion forces me to. I think when you go into entrepreneurship, especially at the beginning, I think it's no days off. And I'm speaking from experience. It was no days off. I think every day presents an opportunity, and if you look at business from the mindset of an employee, you're not going to get to where you want to ultimately get to. 7 days a week presents opportunity as an entrepreneur, and your doors got to be open, your wheels got to be turning. So I think at the beginning, you work extremely hard for a multitude of years so that you can buy your time back. That's the payoff, right? That's the payoff. If an opportunity presents itself, you can buy your time back, or you set your exit, and you work towards that exit strategy, uh, or that exit date when you ultimately do buy your time back. So that comes with years of hard work, right? The harder you work, the faster you can expedite it. So I think from an entrepreneur perspective, as work-life balance, I ain't, I sacrifice a lot, relationships, family, you know, to get to that mugger, right? So it's work, is no personal life. You squeeze in personal life if you can. If the business is demanding you be at the business, and whatever being at the business entails, then that's what it is. You meet the needs of the business. The business don't meet the needs of you. I've never heard that. I've heard meet the needs of the business. Period. The business don't meet the needs of you. So you always got to meet the needs of the business. So you're sacrificing everything else. That's why I say from an entrepreneurial perspective is God, business, and everything else. Because if you put things before the business, then there's going to be something's going to be neglected. As an entrepreneur, you're going to neglect something, especially at the beginning. You're going to neglect more. So that's just something to think about. So you got a goal. You want to get to your goal. It's going to come with sacrifice. All right, I'm going to see who give you more. Talk about Amazon, answer that. You know what I'm saying? That takes your advice. Okay. What's crazy, you can find more information today if you spent time doing proper research. And that's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Really trying to do all my research. Dallas, Texas, trying to buy low and really study my market. I have maybe 10K or more. I want to be as prepared as possible. Yeah, keep researching and keep stacking bread. The more money you have, the better. I'm just making sure I get to some people. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications. You can leave yours to wherever you can't make them drink it. Got that one. You said in Big Mark we trust, appreciate it. Do I have advice on hot shot? Nope, because I never done it. And Duke was trying to tell me how to run my channel earlier. Don't do that because we'll call you out. Link always pinned to the top of the chat. This ain't one of them types of channels. We will pull you up. You feel what I'm saying? Be careful. I'm just jumping around. Where can I find a good CPA? I have asked everyone I know, and they either don't know what that is or need to get one. Oh, Lord have mercy. How you ask people that are in business? Hey, listen. So I don't know where you're from, but just Google a public accountant. Google an accounting firm. And then from there, well, here's the thing. First thing you want to do is ask people that are in business that you know that you trust if they have one, but clear you have, and see if you can get a referral. I would I would say get a referral first before trying to source one on your own. If you can't get a referral for an accounting firm, then go to Google and start searching accounting firms in your area, and then start reading the reviews, and then start calling them. I would read the reviews and check their references and go from there. But I would at least try to get a referral first. A lot of people telling me to slow down, but it's not in me. Also, I don't think I'll upset an exit. I would definitely work on a plan. Always set an exit. Here's why you should set an exit. My exit was 2025, right? That was my original exit. I didn't set an exit initially. I set an exit in 2017, 2018, right? Because I saw a shift, right? I saw a shift in generations, right? I also saw a shift in work, right? The gig economy was really starting to, you know, come in, right? Um, Back then, you had people driving Uber that were making $3,000-4,000 a week, right? Because they were paying higher, right? Because they were trying to, push the cabs out, and just like any new startup, um, they wanted to get people accustomed, so they were doing cheaper fares for riders and higher pay for drivers, right? um, and that drove consumers away from cabs, and that brought drivers onto their platform to meet the demand of the consumers, right? So people were making that type of money. So in my head, I'm like, I didn't know that, you know, over time they were going to lower the rates, but I knew the gig economy was coming in. Why would a person come work for me at that time, $15 an hour, when these guys are bragging that they're making $3,000-4,000 just sitting in their car? Why would someone want to carry furniture and appliance delivery for my final mile company, or do moves for my moving company, when they can go drive their car and make $3,000-4,000 and not put a lot of strain on their body? So that, I'm like, bro, I gotta like, this shit is gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I didn't look further into, like, once they got people all the way in, they were gonna start lowering the rates and increasing the price point for the passengers. I just was like, bro, this is ain't nobody gonna want to do this type of work. So I said, man, I gotta start really preparing myself for an exit, which I had already, was running efficiently and effectively, but now with an exit in mind as well. So this is 2017. Um, so just more investments, things of that nature. Um, and luckily I did, right? Because I was already preparing myself for that 3 years into when the pandemic it came, which changed, things there. But by 2021, when the bubble really took place, it presented me with an earlier exit, right? And I took advantage of that. So my 2025 exit turned into 2022, and I realized that in midway, maybe like September of 2020. I said, listen, I'm gonna get this to 2022 and I'm out, because they were projecting 3 to 5 years. So I just kept grinding, kept grinding. I beat myself up. All right. But the point I'm trying to make is, if I didn't really give myself an exit date when I did, it's probably a possibility, even though I was cool and I was on the right path, right, that I wouldn't have made some of the investments that I did to be at the point where I was at in 2020 when the pandemic happened, right? Right. So, but because I did, you never know what the future holds. So, the future held a pandemic, which presented me an opportunity. I might have not been as prepared as I was if I didn't make that decision. So, you kind of always want to have it. I kind of wish I would have had it um, maybe a year or two earlier. But either way, you know, um, I was prepared. I was prepared, and um, I just built on top of what I had and buckled down during the pandemic, and what I set out to do once I recalibrated my exit, and it worked out. I actually even came out earlier than the December exit. I came out in October, so I came out 2 months earlier, by the grace of God, because um, I don't think I would have made it the 2 months. When I say I worked hard during the pandemic, harder than probably 70-80% of the people in this room, I worked very hard to the point where my body just was done, to deal with, less people, and then the people that were coming to work fair weather. It was many days where I was two to three men. There was some days where I did, even though there were other people with me or other person with me on my particular truck, I was doing everything because I was dealing with a lack of experience, or I was dealing with um, a person who really didn't want to be there because they just heard them coins drop, because that 20 that they went to Lil Foldum in the neighborhood that told them, listen, I can get you unemployment in Arizona, Indiana, each state. I'm gonna get you 20. Just give me 5 from each state. So when that money hit, he heard them coins drop. Now that took away from the morale. That took away from the work ethic. And now I got a person here who no longer wants to work because they got 30, 40 racks sitting in their account that they ain't never seen in their account before. And the last thing that they want to be doing is on a truck moving some shit, which I had to, turn up and get the job done. And that was very taxing on my body, to the point where, man, I damaged my shoulder and my lower back. Like, my right knee is, it's like I really did a lot of damage. But I set out to do it. Some people say it was lucky if the pandemic, when it happened, I still would have been working. I say go to hell, because guess what? Business is about timing. It's about decision making, and I was in a position where I had a multitude of vehicles that I could offload for a premium amount of money to a bunch of suckers, because your favorite content creator told them they was going to be a millionaire, so they came into an industry during a bubble and they bought shit that was worth $12,000 for $38,000, $40,000. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. This is why I don't go at them, because you dig what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So you want to set an exit strategy, because you never know what time or what the future may hold, and you just want to be prepared either way. So you want to set that up. I don't want to get too more long-winded than I just did. Hey, Mark, didn't know if you talk about Brian. Brian, what's your thoughts on, do you think they should send to the? I'm not finna really get into that, man. I did a whole, debate yesterday, man. But I'll tell you, Bronny, he shouldn't be in the league. I know why he's in the league. Nepotism. Should he be in the league? No, but he is. They definitely should send him to the G League. He definitely needs to develop. UK says, yeah, make sure they know this. The CPA, make sure they know the trucking industry. It's a good point. Mark, what's your thoughts on EV box truck? Isuzu is releasing an EV version. I wouldn't buy an EV box truck. From owning an electric vehicle, from owning an electric vehicle, just from a personal vehicle perspective, to think about a box truck, mm-mm. The time that you're losing to charge the thing, mm-mm. I would never buy one. That's why I hope, without getting political, I hope certain people are in office to kind of change the infrastructure bill of 2035, because I don't want to be forced into, even from a personal perspective, and to only have the options when I need to buy a vehicle of electric vehicle. I think that's unfair. Um, and this is coming from experience of owning an EV. So it's just time consuming. So from a business perspective of a box truck that's bigger, which is probably going to take longer to charge, and it's probably going to eat up a lot of charge when you're carrying weight, right? Like, man, bro, like how are you going to do something OTR when your range is going to be shot, and then you got to sit there, bro? Like, and then who, like, no, 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 no. Bro, it take a long time to charge up the Cybertruck. So a box truck, bro, like I've sat on charging stations, Tesla stations, which has the best charging network. Depending on the market, in 2022, December 2022, we had a cold freeze. Bro, I sat at a Tesla charging station. It was 1 a.m. I said, man, when it gets really, really cold, those charging stations, the lines be really long. You can die just waiting in line. Your car is literally dying. That cold weather is draining your battery. And this is something you got to think of. I go at 1 a.m, bro, it took an hour and something to charge up. Why? Because the battery is cold, the charging station is cold, so it's not efficiently charging your vehicle. It's struggling to charge your vehicle because the charger is struggling. The battery isn't taking in the charge as good as it would be on a day like today. So now you're just sitting there, freezing. Bro, no, nobody want to go through all that. Now, to a person who doesn't know any better, they're going to go out and do the dumb shit. Because they're going to think, oh, this is great. And then they're going to be in a situation where they driving from state to state. They put something in their thing to go find a charging station. They go to the nearest charging station. And this has happened too. They get to that charging station, it's out of service. Now they have less energy, right? And now they got to find a next charging station and hope that they make it. Or they get to a charging station and all the stalls are filled and they got 10% left. That 10% ain't going to hold while you sitting there. It's going to drain, especially if you're in a cold market. So it is what it is. So no, I'm not a fan. Would never buy one. I hope the infrastructure bill gets tossed. Because they were around a pound. Let me send this text message to my girl. Streaming, about to get off streaming. About. Oh. All right. I have a class A, work at a mega carrier, but not making any real money. Found a box truck company paying $1,000 base weekly. Smaller company makes me nervous. Truck breakdowns, getting paid on time, etc. Do your research. Do your research, bro. If you had a mega carrier, why do you want to leave a mega carrier to go work from some independent box truck company? And what do you consider real money? What market are you in? This is who I was debating. This is one of the people I was debating yesterday. They call me old, and Jordan let it go. He said I need to let it go, and like, bro, there's nobody better than Jordan. Like LeBron is not better than Jordan. He hasn't accomplished what Jordan has accomplished. He never will. He ruined his shot of being the GOAT. So it's a wrap. Like y'all gotta let that go. It doesn't matter how old I am or you know, none of that matters. At the end of the day, the numbers matter, and the games that count. The games that count, we never lost. We're 100%, not 40%. And that's what matters. All right. All right. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for watching. Yep, they're definitely trying to force it. It's going to limit us. One of my clients woke up to an update on her Tesla and she couldn't even drive it. She had to rent a vehicle. Yeah, so like, my thoughts would probably be different. Maybe I might be, there may be more uncertainty, but having experience with electric vehicles from a personal perspective, from a business perspective, knowing what I know from a personal perspective, hell no. I would much rather buy a personal electric vehicle than a business one, especially in this industry where I know the battery is going to drain, especially with more weight you put on it, right? And I don't even want to do a personal one no more. Like I'm like not a fan. I'm not a fan. So all right. So I am going to retire for the evening. I've been on for a couple hours now. I think I saw and conquered. I appreciate everybody. Enjoy your Saturday. Don't go out and do nothing crazy. All right. I'll probably come back and cook up tomorrow before I go to the barbershop and get my line in. Until next time, later. Peace, 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 peace.